And we should be live, I think. Let us go to this section. Can I request Twink Judgment? Yeah, sure, I can add that in. But yeah, I am gonna be streaming some coin grinding. Hopefully some of you can join me today. But before we begin, as usual, we should look at our starting point just to get a reference of our progress. The last time I streamed coins, it looks like I received about 20 million over 3 hours, so maybe it'll be the same, but we'll see. So I'm starting with a bit under 5 million right now, and I have a starting point of 87 drinks and 164 majors. No minors because I use them for souls and all that. But yeah, let us do our thing. And we shall close the thingy. Should also turn on that thing. Will this work? Close that entry, please. Yeah. Alright. Let's go. But yeah, I will not be changing it for this stream, but probably for tomorrow I'll have it ready then. Would rather not mess with channel settings in the middle of a live stream like this. And we are ready to go. So this time around, my team is actually a bit different. I decided to bring, in my front team, essentially people who do the least to minimize the amount of skill effects are popping up, and to also, you know, I put ending in back row because before he would sometimes hit the middle square when it was already dead. So in this case, no one will ever hit a square that someone else has already hit. And also, Merman doesn't do anything unless he has moved or. And what's called Yaksha actually gives vigor to stuff, unfortunately, but it's like the only snipe unit I have that does like the least amount of things. Snipe units do a lot. We have like among our 2-stars, we have the mobsters and the thingies, which I think they're the troopers or something, and they weapon change. And these the mobsters both inflict weakness as well as concentration to self. So Yaksha actually does the least among all of them. If you think the music is significantly quieter than the sound effects, let me know and I'll turn up the music. You think it's okay? Alright. Good to know, good to know. Just making sure that you guys can enjoy something to listen to in the background. If, you know, not much conversation is going on. The music could be slightly louder? Alright, thank you for that. I will, in fact, raise the volume. I was thinking that maybe, but, you know. Maybe not enough time before the stream began, because I totally, like, last second decided to do the stream. I have a got tied up. Maybe like tiny louder? Yeah, that should be fine. Got tied up. I have got tied up. I always have to change the settings of music and other sound settings. Like in streams, I can't put it up as loud because why can't I pull up as loud? Oh yeah, it's because I can't turn on sound ducking then for everyone else's voices during discussions. So right now I just have everyone speaking through the same channel as the music that I play at the same time. So it is a no-go of me turning the music up in that case, not proportionally turned down to itself. Alright, I think they might be about the same volume now, or loudness anyways. So it should be good unless you speak Japanese and you actually want to understand what they're saying, but hopefully not too loud this time. But yeah, as you can see, there's some new settings for my channel. What can I say? I'm a shell. No. Well, maybe a bit. But I also really wanted to include emojis from like the very beginning. I think I saw it randomly in some other channels, like, whoa, that's so cool, I want emojis. And then it was like, turns out you can only do custom emojis after you reach 1k subs, and then you can only use them if they're channel members. That's like, ugh. And they can only be channel members if they spend some minimum amount. So right now it's going for the bare minimum of $1. That said, do not feel obligated to get them. They are just emojis after all. I mean, emojis are kind of... Wait, I just realized, did he not push them that time? Do mermen resist forced movement? I completely forgot. But yeah, do not feel obligated to join the membership. So that said, yeah, it would be I'd be grateful if you did, because believe it or not, upgrading my setup actually did cost a lot. Gone are the days when I began streaming for the very first time, when I was doing it on my laptop through a Wi-Fi connection. Oh my god. That was... I can't believe it. Looking back at those videos, I am like in awe of the speed of it going. I'm surprised it even like lived at all, but apparently it was going as fast as like a GIF playback. Oof. But yeah, things are a lot different now with an upgraded setup with 2 monitors, so I can actually properly stream full screen now, the game in one monitor, and then you have OBS open the other. Need table, hold them both, and a chair. But you know, I have a job, so it's this is by no means gonna be my new source of livelihood yet. But yeah, my plans for these coins are, I think by my earlier calculations, I want about 50 million coins just for my immediate usage right now. Of course, I want to save more on top of that, but my immediate usage requires me to get about 37.5 million for bringing Kana and Tangaroa all the way up to level 85. And I'm also trying to maximize the skill level of all my 3 stars now. I actually finished doing that for my blow and shot and magic units, since those are the dailies from the previous 3 days. What's left is just slash and what's it called? I feel like I'm missing one of them. Thrust, yeah. But it is not cheap, even at 3 stars. I mean, it is much cheaper with 3 stars, but it's just like there's a lot. So I ended up like using a good amount of my lantern oils for that. And altogether, that's just amounts to like 50 million. With that said, I'd like to actually save some on top of that so that I can be prepared for future seeds of availability and all that. A de-leveling system. Oh, if you mean like a de-seeding system, I would agree. If you mean a de-leveling system as in like to reverse actual normal levels, I don't know about that. But, well actually, you know, it would be useful just so that, you know, you could like choose what skills to have among the ones that are unlocked. So you could, you know, play as if you're LB 0 or 1 or 2. That could be useful if you're trying to, you know, minimize the amount of effects or something like that. I've thought about that too. Could be cool for sure. Because, like, you know, there's a one-way upgrading system. In some few instances, does indeed feel like a downgrade. like, you know, with HP seeding Kengo being a primary example when you have his Valentine variant, because that would just mean that he cannot deplete his HP faster. That actually happens to be a lot for HP seeding and anyone who uses a limit to self naturally. But then we also have the rare reverse case where it's like attack seeding is bad, like with Masanori, who just wants to, you know, what's it called, inflict possession on the enemy, and as well as doubt. But then if they die, then that would defeat the purpose. So you sometimes try when leaving teams, and ensuring people leave is easier when they're de-leveled. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, by the time I did that with one onsen quest with Miniaki and, you know, damage resistance, I actually had everyone leveled up at the time, so the lowest level that was weakest on Leave Conquest was Lucky Cat for me. Having someone to quickly sacrifice is definitely useful, just unfortunately, you know, not currently acknowledged by LifeWonders as a valid strategy that you'd want to use, and in a sense that they won't let you de-level your units. So yeah, de-leveling would be a lot useful. I've definitely used sacrificing strategies before, and sometimes they have too much HP to a fault. Like that one time I tried a Mephistopheles on leave strategy. He actually took a few more hits than I expected, and so it ended in a few turns later than I would have liked. That was for the, what's it called? The Night Glow's second challenge quest, I believe. Or was it the third one? It might have been the third one. It was the one with Kosuga in the first one, and then like everyone else in the second one. Phases, that is. But I think this is going maybe a tiny bit quicker now that I've, you know, prioritized and minimizing skill effects, and Unvar is no longer in front. I'm surprised I didn't just put him in the back in the first place. Now that I was looking at it, I just assumed I did something like this, but apparently not. As efficient as it is stamina-wise, these half stamina coin quests, I believe still currently the most efficient stamina-wise to get coin. I do think it is kind of quite miserable in terms of time efficiency, being something like only 20 million over 3 hours, at least the last I checked. We could definitely use a lot more coin over that time than that, considering it's like 55 million just to both you know, plus 10 level and plus 10 skill seed someone. So that would like require, if it was just for half stamina scuffles, it would require something like maybe 10 hours or some shit like that. 9 hours, maybe a bit less than 9 hours, but still. It's like approaching a full-time job just to do that. Like, LifeWonders, come on. Yes, indeed. Money, money, money. Money, money. Arr, arr, arr. I will need to work on that Mr. Krabs impression some other day. But I think he would be ashamed of that impression. But yeah, at this pace, if I do make 20 million a day with 3 hours a day, then it'll take me until like the third session later on, the second half of the third session, for me to actually make on top of what I plan to immediately spend, which is a bit annoying. Thankfully though, they decided to put this campaign to be a bit longer than they usually do. Usually it's just 1 weekend, but now we have 3 solid weekends to actually grind. Alright, I remember what I was gonna do halfway through, but I forgot now. Where is it? How do I set it up? Is it this one? There you go. So I just turned on the playlist music icon thing. It's something that I have to turn on manually, so forgive me for not having it on immediately, but yeah, this is something that has been recommended to me a few times to keep up if people are interested in what the music is I'm listening to. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it to format to properly space between the beginning character and the end character, but you know, you deal with what you're given. Good addition, because I'm tired of watching other YouTubers who never have it and also have no such playlist to reference. You know, the good YouTubers do decide to put it in their description. Sometimes they put it in the bottom of their videos, but usually not. Oftentimes the music is in their description, but sometimes they just don't credit it, which is kind of lousy. With that said, I got a free pass because I stream when I play this music. So, you know, no one ever expects you to put it on when you stream. At least that's what I like to tell myself. You know, as much as I love Virtue's Last Reward, I still think the title makes no sense. Supposedly Virtue's Last Reward is like death or some shit like that, but you know, the actual meaning of it. But that's like, I've never heard of it being used in that sense outside of just finding the explanation for the game's title. Like it's a catchy sounding thing, but you know, it doesn't really describe much unless you actually look it up. But that's it. I guess the series isn't known for amazing titles, like the first one being a bit too literal with 9 hours, 9 persons indoors, but you know, and then in a way that kind of reached iconic status by having such a strange title like that. Very Japanese.
I have control.
I guess it's supposed to imply that by allying and thus being virtuous, you're more likely to get killed, which is true since always betraying will also technically never get you killed. I suppose that's true. I'm pretty sure it backfires if you betray in some other routes, doesn't it? When you choose ally and die, I got it. Well, you know, that's a viewpoint I like from the game, because, you know, it's kind of cheesy and also not necessarily representative of real life, and people are like, oh, you gotta ally because that's the way to win the game, and that's how you will be friends and we'll all escape. No. Virtue's Last Reward clearly shows that life is more complicated, that there's a million different pathways things can take out, and, you know, betraying and allying in the grand scheme of, like, you know, branching pathways, of a world you're not usually able to see of the many different possibilities. It really, like, doesn't matter which you choose. It's chaotic and you can't really see what's gonna happen in the end. We've just been, like, you know, ingrained that throughout all our lives that we gotta do the good thing. We gotta adhere to the laws and all that. But, you know, you get screwed over and if you don't in real life actually consider things more carefully. And like in the true ending, it's to reach it, you have to both betray and ally, I'm pretty sure. Well, the game itself won't execute you, but it doesn't stop everyone else from mobbing. From mobbing you and chopping your arm off. No one else faces repercussions for betraying though, just like that. See, I hear that, and that's kind of a meme, because it's like, you know, we did manage to escape in that one ending with Dio, and that was one of the true endings, and it's like, you know, some people never even got a chance to escape, so you can cry me a river of like, you know, oh, we never got to escape or whatever. Why is he not pushing? I guess it's only 7% chance that he pushes. I thought it was 9% for some reason. But yeah, it's like, at least Sigma gets to escape, you know? And unlike everyone else, or most of everyone else, you know, Sigma can actually just escape his fate entirely by jumping, so, like, you know, whatever. It's like, sure, they stop him in every single one, but he actually gets to escape in one of them without the others, and, like, everyone else just dies outright. They have no choice. I would say that's a pretty swell deal for Sigma. Plus, if you think about it, like, where are they even escaping to? Like, fucking spoiler alerts for people who haven't played the game. They're just escaping to, like, some barren surface of the moon, which, you know, Dio has no obligation to help them find their way back to some safe location. In the true ending, they knew it was kind of pointless to go out there, so they just went back in. So it's like, you know, it's not like shitting over Sigma, as people like to meme on it.
合体だ。いけ。合体だ。合体だ。お前と一緒だと笑いが止まらんぜ。さあ次はどこで稼ぎまくるんだ。さあガチ儲けのチャンスだぜ。合体だ。I have 合体だ。合体だ。合体だ。いけ。合体だ。I have 合体だ。作戦完了。起動する。やったよな後輩。俺とお前は最高のパートナーだよ。さあ準備は大丈夫かい後輩。合体だ。合体だ。I have 合体だ。合体だ。I have 合体だ。
Hi Ara, also tapping Necro's Kodagane to farm coin. Yep, that is the experience. Hello Prisma, nice to see you again.
I have 合体だ。
I will admit it is remarkably brain dead, but do I miss the days before when I had to think about the positioning of Tsukiyomi and shit like that, and to think of ways to get the sometimes ardor from Fashionista Suzuka? No, I do not, so I am fine with brain dead and guaranteed like this.
やったよな後輩。
The more brain dead it is, the more I can focus on relaxing, and that means the easier I can get by the planned 3 hours for the stream without actually, feeling like death at the end. But glad you could make it. If you are planning to grind for the stream, why don't you join up? Then we can suffer together as we both tap Kokugane's face.
さあ準備は大丈夫かい後輩。合体だ。I have 合体だ。
Perhaps the rest of the crafters also tap his face, if you catch my drift. 合体だ。合体だ。
やったよな後輩。俺とお前は最高のパートナーだよ。準備は大丈夫かい後輩。合体だ。合体。I have a 合体だ。
Yeah, the frame rate.
いけ。合体だ。合体だ。合体だ。合体だ。いけ。合体だ。あ、合体だ。いけ。作戦完了。
Alright, so when we started, we had a bit under 5 million. Now that we are 30 minutes in, looks like we are at just a bit over 9 million. So, looks like we got maybe like 4 million in a bit. 4.3 million over 30 minutes. It's okay. At that rate, it should be like maybe 4.2 million is more accurate. If we're gonna multiply that up to 3 hours and like 8.4, 16.8, 24, 25.2. We should possibly ending at 25.2 million by the end of the stream. It seems like a vast improvement from the 20 million I got only from the last time I played this. Wouldn't have expected that a few character changes that did less would have upgraded that way. Then again, it's just the beginning where I'm fully focused now. I'm sure I'll be slowing down as the game goes on and I lose my mind.
I have a 合体だ。いけ。合体だ。合体だ。
Well, for the first 37.5 million I'm making, I am going to be investing that in Tangaroa, since he's my current project right now in terms of reaching level 85. Right now, most of my units in my lineup are quite high in terms of level seeding. The only exceptions are Tsukiyomi, which is because, you know, I'm not level seeding him any further than that. That was from a bygone era when I needed him for coin scuffling, but no more. As well as, well, whoever's in the free slot, which right now is Lucky Cat, and I'm not seeding that because it's actually better just to keep him low level, but either way I wouldn't have seeded them. And for my all slot, I currently have Jurong, so that would probably be my next project after. Oh my gosh, you actually joined! Ew. Well, I hope you enjoy the 3.5 emojis. One of them isn't quite working, but that will probably be replaced for tomorrow. Twink Judgment, which if you don't know is just some behemoth face that looks kind of stupid. But thank you for joining as my first channel member. We're gonna reach the very top, you and I. Thank you so much. I don't know how to react. A useful Tsukuyomi range. Yeah, maybe that will actually get me to bother and finish seeding him. Since, you know, he is already fully skill seeded and, you know, 10 out of 15 level. And he's not a bad unit either, even if he's not, like, game breaking. I still use Tsukuyomi for some things, like, I use them for grinding the tall souls. Because, what's it called? He does decent personal damage. And also he just, on phases 2, 3, and 4, not phase 1 because positioning, but he's able to boost the Nomad's damage a bit more since Nomad's own personal damage is kind of whack. Christmas Nomad, that is. You're my most watched and favorite streamer, for that I joined. Oh, Prismas! Thank you. Yeah, I love streaming this game. Well, to be accurate, I just love playing this game, and I love sharing this experience, and, you know, streaming is one way to share that experience. But yeah, I am glad you have joined and saw potential in me. I don't know. I don't take praise and positive feedback very well. But yeah, I will do my best to continue these streams, and I have no plans of stopping or slowing down anytime soon. So look forward to more discussions and playthroughs. Oh yeah, there's going to be a playthrough for the dungeons. I consulted with Archie about the play length, and they should be stream worthy length. But yeah, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday EST, or is it actually it's Saturday? No, it's Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday EST. I'm going to be doing the Shinjuku dungeon, the Ikebukuro dungeon, and the Aoyama dungeon story quests, which have been recently translated during this campaign. And they should be around, according to Archie, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and maybe like an hour and 30. So definitely something worth streaming. Of course, like, I'll just video edit it too, but yeah. Tsukuyomi. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get a 5-star. Probably just a 4-star because, you know, he's not actually like male for male. It's more like Fujoshi bait, to be honest. Even everyone else is already gay. They just need to have the Fujoshi bait anyways. But yeah, there will be streams for those things, those dungeon stories. That said, someone mentioned like a while ago that I should stream the chapter, the main story, and I was thinking of doing that originally, but now I'm having second thoughts. Maybe I should just continue making videos for them because I do not want to be spoiled on them. And also, like, I do want to keep it optimal in terms of trimming and cutting, as because when I do things live, there's such a long-ass loading screen. I don't want people to be subject to that or even have to deal with skipping it. And also, I flow my words a lot, and at least in those the story playthroughs, I'm able to cut them for a more ideal experience. Yeah, I'll probably go to the Jaizen route. If you are talking about who I will be seating next, probably not, no. That was actually, like, at once upon a time, for a very brief moment, I was like, yeah, I should seat him. But for some reason, Jambri Aizen's always seems to be, like, always the, I don't know, replaced in terms of priority by someone else, like the brand new unit. Like, even Jambri Kagutsuchi has replaced him recently, just because of that new strategy, right?
I have control. Tied up.
Oh, if you mean like the route of him getting a 4-star, yeah, I guess so. Now that I mentioned, yeah. I think, yeah, for Aizen would, I don't really get who Aizen's supposed to appeal to in terms of, I'm pretty sure they're drawn by the same artist, but it's like, I don't think Aizen would normally fall into the Fujoshi category. But yeah, I'm all for it. Especially if it's a good unit. But, you know, just because I seeded them doesn't mean I'm gonna be pulling too hard if his kid happens to be too crap in the end. But yeah, in that sense, Suki variant would be probably 4-star here, right? Quite possibly. Got tied up. But yeah, besides Jurong, which is high priority in seeding right now, it's just currently being... I need to skill seed fucking with Kruznik first so that he stops failing combo. After that, I'll finish skill seeding Jurong as well as level seeding him probably. And then I will also like work on Kanan Tangaroa, who is just 81 out of 85 right now, so that will make my support lineup all the more shinier. But yeah, after that, I'd like to save up for an Infernal unit that I'll actually want to see again. Whatever that may happen to be, since Tsukiyomi's gotta go. As for my free slot, I mean, I don't know. People constantly ask me to replace shit in that. It's barely a permanent slot. I've had, like, for a while, Ryota with the Kool-Aid AR, even though I have Ryota in another slot because I was asked for it. And then I also had Kengo in that slot for a while, and now it's, like, Lucky Cat right now, and... I don't know. Free slot is kind of a meme.
Got tied up! Got tied up!
Yeah, I think someone asked me to put up Jamboree Kagutsuchi for a bit there too for testing, and also Yumilk also asked me to put up a what's his name? Walter. Yeah, that's how we're calling what's called Alter Walk on Tonka right now. Mugen Walk-in supports are rare. I mean, I might have considered putting them up for my base, but you know, Kotaro's just still too busted. Like, honestly, I would be shocked the day I decide to remove him from support. It's just fully just practicality in terms of utility. Kotaro has not really been power crept at all, despite the millions of other all-range units that have been released after, because, you know, just his ridiculous strength and his debuff resistance and his ease of getting his charges still just something to, you know, be in awe of. And if I do remove Kotar from that slot because there's a better water unit, then I would probably just put Kotar in free slot at that point. Mine's is SA level 46, so yeah. It's not just any beach Kotar, it's my beach Kotar that is kind of hilariously busted. So, you know. I may be a bit biased just because of my luck with getting multiple dupes with him. I watched high difficulty quest clears on YouTube to set my supports, but if someone in Discord asked, I would put some specific up. Yeah, that's what I do too. Actually, I don't. I set my supports based on what I think are good units because, you know, I actually know I'm still a kid in the game. But yeah, every now and then I get requests. Like, normally I would have a leaked up with the Oath of Pioneer AR, aka the 5-star Share one, that came out on release. But Irby asked me to put up the seed boosting AR, which, you know, I think is like, if he finds it useful and I do see him using it, so even though he said he wasn't using it, then sure, I'll put it up because that means people will use them and I will get more FP. And also, you know, I respect resource maximization. I'm not sure if it's necessarily best, but until Irby said that. Then again, I haven't really seen the quest to really know for sure. Seeing every enemy's HP practically vanish after Kurogane breeds, it's especially funny here. Yeah, Kurogane is one of 2 units right now that is like essential for coin scuffles. Sorry, not essential, is like necessary. How do I describe this? It's like you can either get Kurogane or one other unit to have like the essential coin scuffle experience. Without Kurogane actually being a coin booster, or the other unit. The other one being Christmas Nomad, and the reason is because, as you can see, everyone in the coin scuffle extremes, not in the other dailies, mind you, but everyone in the coin scuffle extremes has less than 8k HP, which means everyone will just be brought down to 1 HP. And because it's a tall map, that means he's able to affect every single square as well. So he is essential because even if they get evasion after, I mean, evasion is a defensive buff that just greatly reduces by 100 times, but it doesn't matter because even if you do 1 damage, they're gone. And the other one being Christmas Nomad is for a different reason, is because he makes everyone beside him able to penetrate evasion and other defense buffs, although evasion is the only one you need to worry about. And he also gives them 2 buffs, essentially being like a bit stronger than crit as a result. Concentration and limit, and that just lets him, with 2 other shot units, clear the front row with big ease. He's more generally useful for the other dailies, but you know, both work for coin scuffles. With that said, Nomad does have a problem with personal damage for the other ones, so you're gonna need some help most likely. My current setup for the others tall maps for the dailies right now is what are my teams? I have Kima and Tsukiyomi for my other 2 shot units, and Tsukiyomi will give crit to Nomad, who will be my support unit on turns 2 and later. And I also have Arachne to give that attack up to everyone. So that attack was kind of necessary because even with 2 buffs to self, Nomad's damage is kind of poop. Oh no! I'm not paying attention. I made them. It's because I'm talking too much, god damn it. And so ends my perfect run. For shame! That right there just lost me 100,000 coins, probably. God damn it. I am ashamed. I should just cancel my entire career now. It's because I was talking about Nomad. And Nomad needs to be beside everyone, but as you can see, Kurogane actually needs to be 1 square behind the front row, because his area of effect is a bit disjointed like that. He affects like 3 times 3 blocks ahead of him, but like with 1 gap between them. He's designed that way so that he can have like 3 shot units in front, but as you can see, he just reduces everyone's HP that he can act as his own column clear. So yeah, if you have all your coin boosters, you know, between your ARs and your Anvaris and coin cats, your quest for an ideal coin team is not over until you actually have either Night Ghost Kurogane or Christmas Nomad. Keep in mind they both need to be either skill seeded or have glint, which you can get from the Kulebe AR, which is quite nice. Which is the only reason why I'm bringing the Yaksha right now, because I could have just brought another merman who would not have activated any effects, but Yaksha, it can only be equipped right now on snipe or magic units. So yep, Yaksha is there just so that she can hold the Guildmaster, not the Guildmaster, the Beast Tamer AR.
I have control. 合体だ。いけ。
Alright.
合体だ。合体だ。合体だ。作戦完了。起動する。へへへ、やったよな後輩。俺とお前は最高のパートナーだよ。
I hope the music is not too loud in the sense that it's not overcoming my voice. I know I have a sound ducking on, but you know, perceptually it might be a bit of jarring to hear me switch to being the new loudest from the music. I think I will turn it down just by the teensiest, tiniest bit. Okay, there you go. You don't think it's too loud? Oh, okay. Maybe I'll just leave it as it is then. Yeah, I should not be interrupting the awesomeness that is Jamboree music anyways. Oh my god, I still am in awe that this song was composed from Housamo. It's so good! It's so good! Now, if only there was a way to just mute the victory sound effect without muting every other sound effect. I wonder why they decided to move up the Afkari event story from past events by mistake. What do you mean by that? Move up? Why decided to move up the Afkari event story from past events by mistake? Did they like move it into current events or something? Because like I have all my questions, so I wouldn't know. I have a control. Well, if they change it back, then yeah, it's just an accident. And you don't really need a reason for accidents, because accidents are accidental. If you want like an actual reason though, maybe, I don't know, some really cranky unpaid intern did it by accident. I saw from the Twitter and Bugless reports of LifeWonders that they have identified the bug that Guts resistance as applied by the AR isn't being applied properly in certain cases, such as if you bring Horkei Okami, because you know that he inflicts a nullify buff to everyone, but then that prevents it from going. So I wonder what they're gonna do with that, because it actually was a really strong AR because it acted like a buff. being able to activate buff reversal right away as a result of that. But if not, then if they change it to something else, then buff reversal just won't work anymore, which is a bit sad. Of course, that would mean, you know, more utility for guts resistance, but still. It was a really neat, cheesy thing to use before. That sounds like one completely random slip up there. Yep, pretty much. Fkari 2 placeholder. Yeah, I've heard rumors of Fkari 2. I don't know if they hold any water, but it seems like a lot of people mention them, so there's probably some legitimacy. Since, you know, people actually have sources and all that between LifeWonders employees or artists. Luther, no! No! I know my internet connection's fine. Do not lie to me. Actually, that's not entirely true. The drop frames are good, but actually, within the past week or so, I have been noticing that something has been going on with my internet connection. I think my modem is dying or something like that. I don't know. So it's like unique errors where I can go to some sites but not others, or it's like I have to restart my computer. And it's like an internet connection specific thing that never really happened before, so I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't interrupt the stream, but based on the increasing frequency of it, maybe one of these days it'll actually happen. Oof. They could apply a neutral guts resistance status in addition to the guts resistance buff, and it should be okay, I think. Yeah, maybe. Just apply 2 different guts resistances just to get the job done. Very hacky, but yeah, it could work. Let's come back to haunt you. No! I upgraded my computer setup to avoid that specifically. Still having trauma from the one time I did that. Tried to do the Jamboree stream. I think it was a Jamboree stream. No, it wasn't. It was some other skill-specific Evos stream in between. And then it was so bad, the connection, that we actually had to... Oh, I'm losing efficiency by not playing. We actually had to do the entire thing pre-recorded because we tried to stream it twice and then it just died, so... the motivation from there just really increased within me to actually just move on from my fucking laptop and get on the computer. I know these chapter themes probably have proper titles now, so it's not exactly accurate to call it battle theme. But I probably won't be changing them anymore because what's it called? Then I have to change all the playlists as well because they're redirected to each one by the name of the files, and that'd be so annoying because I have multiple playlists. I have different playlists one for grinding right now. I have another one for discussions, which does not have any music outside of host music. And I also have some personal music as well. Although that one shouldn't matter. Those personal playlists shouldn't matter because they don't have host music. I think they've done something similar to that before with, like, Fashionista Sasago's skill evolution. Didn't they say there was some sort of bug with Fashionista Sasago's skill evolution? I think I read that in the bug report list, but I never really checked it because I don't use it in the first place to really care. So, you know, if I think they said it within the same vein of that, or the same breath rather. So, if you're saying they did some related fix, and they'll probably be doing the same for the guts resistance one. One nice thing about having the list of songs being constantly shown in a row like this is that it'll actually let you see the true frame rate of the stream coming in, because right now the frame rate is usually limited just by the game itself. Well, rather, it's limited by the Wi-Fi capture of the game. But now you can enjoy 60 frames per second of the title of the song passing by. I'm mad I didn't get Itzana, the last banner. Actually, I literally got no one, so my boost was trash. What? How much did he even spend for it? That's quite unfortunate if you actually spent a good amount and you didn't get anything. I actually didn't spend like maybe 3 multis on it. I only did like 1 multi in stream, but later on I was like, oh, I really want Pokemon. I really want Pokemon. Pokemon 4 anyways. And then I didn't get them, so that was sad. But, you know, I got Itzana, which ended up being, you know, unlocking my third eye with that strategy. Along with Mug's initial discovery, of course. It just happened to be that I got that Kagutsuchi from the grab bag, so let it be known here, the grab bag can actually be quite clutch. A lot of tickets and like 100 gems. Ooh boy. Well, you know, 100 gems is just 2 multis, so eh. But yeah, not getting anyone is kind of trash. You didn't even get Boogeyman 3? Not that he's actually a booster worth bringing. He's not. Oh, you can't win though. I also had some spectacular bad luck in some other events, I believe. Double J Kagumim coming through. Yeah, that single Kagumim was like really good, but I was just really, you know, held back by the restrictions of you can only give CP or get damage buffs. And I was like, and then I was just scrolling through my list, and I was like, wait a second, when did I get J Kagu? Oh yeah, through the grab bag. And then I was like, Galaxy Rain, then I can have both. So yeah, very fortunate in that way. Well, more accurately, very serendipitous. What y'all up to? I am grinding and talking with my buddies on the chat. We are just talking about, what were we talking about? My attention, let me just read up. Oh yeah, we were talking about Luther's bad luck, as well as the strategy that me and Milk kind of figured out together. The Jamboree Kagutsuchi Itzamna meme. So if you didn't get Itzamna, it's a bit unfortunate, because he is actually integral for that. Galaxy Brain emote when. I wish I could add a lot more, but I already have one requested by Milk to add. The 20 Judgment one. And right now I can only add 4, which is like bruh. But maybe if I get a few more members, then maybe I can actually start adding more emojis. But 4 is the limit right now, which is like, seriously. Whatever. 1,000 subs and you're not going to get me 4 emojis. YouTube boy. That grab bag came in clutch. You got a Beach House and Bari. No, okay, well granted I did too in that grab bag, but that meant less because I already had 2 copies of Beach House and Bari. I was like, why are you giving me another one? Actually, never mind, I think I only had 1 copy. But I got the second one from the grab bag. It was like, this would have been helpful, like 2 grab bags when I did first get in Bari. Oh well. But yeah, Beach House and Bari, if you didn't have him before, this is probably the best possible thing you could pull from that banner. From the grab bag, that is. You don't have to do Twinkle Chat. Overlaps with the current leaked one after one. Oh, okay, sure. With that said, I'm not sure if I should do Galaxy Brain because it's kind of a bit too general and not, you know, specific enough for this channel anyways. Maybe if I had like a huge laundry list of disposable emojis, then I would. I should have pulled on the grab bag, honestly, but I couldn't choose which one and ended up not having the money to anyway. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. You don't have money even after working all that time? You should have some personal pocket money. Then again, it's not exactly the best recommendation to be spending your money on a gacha game of all things. I say as I do it every year. Then again, you know, it's like It's not like I spend money very often outside of that. Speaking of spending money on game-related things, I am looking forward to a few Nintendo Switch games coming out, so hopefully that will be coming out, and maybe, just maybe, unlikely, but maybe, I'll have some sort of capture set up to stream them just for fun too. I only got the grab bag for Snow, but I was able to get him with 50 stones. I'm still very grateful to RNGs. Yeah, that is incredible luck if you actually get the one unit you want. I want to play Live Alive. That is something I've heard a few times. You can play that, I guess. Nothing's stopping you while you watch the stream. Hey, Gem saved for nothing. LifeWonders scammed me. Just roll better, obviously. Just pull better. I was hoping to get Fenrir's band variant, but ended up getting a copy of Furufumi's Vestal variant, and netted myself a Necros and Bacchus. If you mean 5-star, he's actually quite good though. Can't complain about the 5-star since I don't have him. Yeah, his 5-star is actually, you know, surprisingly for just some weird crossover banner, a very respectably strong 5-star. I still find myself using him every now and then because he's, if you actually do get his heal off, even though that doesn't really seem that way, he's quite a strong healer and he has some really strong heal effects with like this countdown one hit. Spend money on Mario Kart 8 DLC. I actually had Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U, and then like we couldn't transfer that over, so I just didn't get it again for the Switch. So I was like, that was the end of the Mario Kart experience for me when I decided not to make it transferable. I'm gonna play Mario Kart 8 DLC later tonight. Yeah, it looks like there's a bunch of things in it, although I've heard some complaints about the accuracy of some of their things, but whatever. You know, it's just nice to have a bunch for avid players. Plus, the only Mario Kart I really enjoyed was what's called Mario Kart DS. It had a great mission mode, and a great battle mode. Not to mention, I actually won consistently because snaking existed. That was like one of my first Mario Kart experiences. Actually, I would say that is my first, you know, primary Mario Kart experience. And then the fact I was just like randomly winning sometimes for the rest was, I don't know about that. Also not working anymore because of personal reasons. Oh, okay. Well, oh no, I clicked the wrong button. No. Yeah. Fair enough. I know that there is a lot going on there, so I will not touch that further. I have a budget for Housamo I keep. I like the game, therefore I give a bit of my money. Yeah, same for me, except I don't really budget on a month basis because it's just like, that's how you start justifying paying every month for what you could be paying for new games instead. But I don't mind paying them every like year for the grab bag because it's just a fun thing whether you got something or not, and to talk about and share with your friends without feeling, you know, seeming like you're a whale or something, because it's a unique experience for everyone. And very rarely, sometimes I spend money outside of that. Like, one time I mistakenly tried to buy some stones ahead of time before the grab bag because I thought they would still be doing, you know, paid stones by then, and I wanted to get the good discount. But then they decided to switch to what's called the grab bag tickets, which, you know, made my pre-purchases a bit, you know, very much wasted, which is, you know, whatever. You live, you learn. Hopefully they'll just, you know, I'll just do that next year, get the tickets instead rather than saving. But I also spent some money when they released ARs at first because there were just a bunch of new ones, and I really, that leaked strategy that you still see me using to this day with Ryota and all that, I still use it, and I foresaw that the moment I saw the leak Oath of Pioneer AR. It really boosted the CP, and it's just quite ridiculously strung together. I like the game, therefore I uncontrollably spend money on stones and merch on their store. That's a bit worrying, but you know, if you have the money that's disposable, then I guess it's fine. I actually have not bought any merch. I know a lot of other people have in terms of getting the translated books or the buttons or whatever, but I don't go out enough to justify wearing buttons. And even if I did go out more often, like when I do go out, I'd rather just wear something fashionable than something like that. Copium. Word of the year. That one, wait, let me just select this before I lose time efficiency. That one for Same minus the merchandise. I'm still going for Furlong's variant and Live a Hero and standing out at 150. Maybe I should not read out these stats. Well, whatever, I'm already reading it halfway. Standard 1555 summons Furlongless. I feel like I've heard of Furlong before. I didn't to spend extra stashed away money, but I will for him. Yeah, it works out. Maybe. AR copium. I mean, I've been an avid supporter of ARs for like the longest time, and I pretty much just have most of the ones that I want now, if not all of them. The one that I wanted the most for a while was probably the Blessing to Enemies AR just to boost Leak, but then they released the Guts AR, so that's like completely pointless now. So I pretty much have almost all the ARs I want. The only ones I don't have that I guess I would want is just the Prayer AR from Arc, and I don't know. That's pretty much it. But it's like, even if I don't have that, my Housamo can still have the Guts AR to give Guts, which is probably a better choice than the Prayer one, honestly. I want to play Live a Hero. I don't actually spend money uncontrollably, but I know I will, so I really have to be careful with gacha games. Hey, that's respectable. If you know your limits and you know how to restrain your urges, yeah, then stick to it. For some people, that requires them to, like, you know, avoid playing the game entirely or even uninstalling it. Other people, what's it called? Just budget themselves every month or something like that. And other people hoard up until they have that one thing. Whatever strategy works for you. Convert to Buddhism instead. Honestly, I feel like that's a bit like me, like what's it called? Like, granted, I do like what's it called? End up spending 3 stones more than I'd like sometimes, just because I really want to unit and like, oh well, that's too bad. But usually I save at least 50 or even 100 stones, even if I go a bit crazy. And I never buy stones if I don't get the unit I want, so I think, you know, I've got my patience back in order. Anyway, would love to stay, but I've been avoiding work long enough, so maybe I can stay longer next time. Hey, thank you for joining that one, Froki. It was nice to hear your input. Good luck with work and, well, you know, work is work. And good luck with your future polls this time. Hopefully you don't spend too much. So, chat with you later. Have a good one. Later that one, Froki. Take care. For sure, for sure. For sure. Yeah, they really released a lot of amazing music during that period of time, between Jamboree and Cat Festival music like this one. I don't know, that year just like was the beginning of amazing music. Because before then, you know, they were okay. But you had shit like the kind of crappy rapping from the Nightmare Kingdom event. Crappy hip-hop rather, and then you had like the festival Europop shit, the extravaganza one. You had, I don't know, they weren't amazing, let's just say that. Yeah, I have most songs available from Housamo on here. Actually, that's not true. In this grinding playlist, I only have Housamo music that I like, so you won't be hearing any annoying Housamo music. At least music that I find annoying from Housamo. You know, granted, some people actually do find someone being annoying here, but you know, that's just like, I can see why, but it's not like I'm listening to it 24/7, and someone never talks otherwise, so it's nice. I came back just to say, yes, this is a banger song. I can't believe I missed that. Yeah, it is. Can't wait for new semester to drop. I'm wondering what they're gonna do for it, because it was like last year they did a coin event, which was really neat. You know, of course you had to pull them, which is unfortunate for some people, but if you got lucky enough, then you could find a pretty neat one-term setup and get decent coin with good time efficiency. Maybe not as stamina efficient as half staminas like this one is, but definitely what's it called, a lot more pleasant in terms of how much coin you were getting per hour. But this year it's like I don't think we're gonna get that, or it would be kind of weird because like we already have 2 different coin boosting events right now between limited, you know, between the coin dungeon as well as this half stamina event. Unless they did, which, you know, it could work. Maybe they're just gonna do another consecutive coin event, which, you know, I would say is not the worst idea, but it seems slightly less likely now that they've already done 2 simultaneously right now. So if they don't do that, then who knows, maybe it'll just be a plain banner. But I think it was a fun way to make the semester a kind of event in itself, rather than in previous years where it was just like, well, here they are, and that's it. I'm not gonna give you any quests to test them out. They're just here for you. But yeah, I'm very excited for new semester too, either way. New Hakenshi to add to the family. Make it 3 just because you need it. Yeah, I mean, of course, there's always gonna be Hakenshi in each one until they run out of Hakenshi. Do a flower event. That could be neat. Could be neat. A blossom event. How about like a level and skill seed event? That'd be neat. Just me? No one wants to spend that much coin. But even I don't want to spend that much coin, but I just want fully seeded units. I probably prioritize it more than anyone else, because like a lot of other people just like the moment blossoms drop, they're like, you know, fuck skill seeds, fuck level seeds, I'm getting blossom instead. I'm like, bro, I'm still getting the skill and level seeds. Because level seeds, unlike HP and attack blossoms, still affect your placement in the list of a support lineup in your friend list. And skill seeds, you know, they're just self-explanatory of why they're important. I'm probably gonna max him as soon as I get him. LOL, I have all the mats ready, so I'm full of my seeds, as is tradition for the true Hakenshi stan you are. Yeah, I don't really have any seeds hoarded up, and I don't have any coins, so that's why I'm kind of grinding coin right now. But yeah, I know you've already gotten to pretty much every other Hakenshi so far. Fully seeding units is so expensive. Mad respect to those who have multiple units fully invested here. I'm pretty sure that's most of us, honestly. Now, the real thing that's, you know, awe-inspiring, but maybe not respectful in my opinion, is fully blossoming units, because it's just like, it is probably harder to fully blossom someone than it is to fully levels or skill seed someone right now, but you just get much less reward out of it and perform at a much greater cost. Like the high level quests, getting 1 blossom, maybe the lowest level of it. That's really depressing. I also farm skill gems with the daily quest, still units leveled but not skilled. Skill gems for the daily skills, still units leveled but not skilled. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you're saying that you farm for souls just so that you can skill up everyone you haven't yet, I do that too. In fact, that's what I've been doing for the past 2 days. All my blow and shot and magic 3 stars are now skill level 100. I should farm coins too as well, but I figured I'd join because I finally wake up in time for them. Hey, thanks for joining just for that. I mean, you know, the stream is multifunctional. You can also stream my watching, so it's not as much of a lone, pathetic experience of grinding it under your covers while you try to get 20 million over 3 hours and doing nothing else. Because, you know, you do have enough mental room to be pressing like a few buttons, sliding a few tiles while talking with other people. Especially with these loading screens in between. Players start. Players start. Here's all the million effects. Here's Glint. Here's got tied up. Yeah, that takes a while. You definitely have room to talk in between that. Pretty sure I do have a decent hoard of coins, but never hurts to get more. For sure, for sure. 100 skill. Yep, that is the dream. Of course, when it comes to the mobs, that will probably take a while, and I'm not sure if I'll be motivated enough to get souls for everyone there. I'll definitely be like skilling them as I get them from like events and all that, but I don't know if I will be grinding souls from outside of it. Hey Lewis, nice to see ya. Welcome to the stream. This is your first coin stream? I'm pretty sure it's not, but if it is, then yeah, what we do here is we just talk and chill while I stream, and it is a common idea for you as someone who also plays the game to be what's called grinding while I grind as well, because you know you probably have a lot of mental energy and extra to just sliding your units around and getting everyone cleared and getting your coins, but otherwise you just be doing that alone in the dark without really doing anything else, which is a bit of a miserable experience. So making it a bit more social by doing it simultaneously is always nice. With that said, maybe I'm kind of promoting it too hard, but this is just feedback I've heard from many people in the past that they do that often. Oh yeah, but before I forget, regarding the seed quests, I do know there's a seed quest that I haven't unlocked. Well, maybe I have. There's a seed quest that gives you the greater seeds as well as the regular HP and attack seeds. And then there's one that gives you the greater attack and HP seeds as well as the lesser blossoms. Which one gives more greater seeds, if I may ask, if you guys understand my question? Maybe I'll switch to my other phone to watch so I can grind coins as well. Hey, I will not question why you have two phones, but nice, that works. Another choice is also if you have your own computer, you could watch it there. Hey, first stream. Yeah, I think I recognize your name. Well, you know, you kind of joined around the time when I was reaching 1,000 subs, so I don't know. For some reason, I was just like, it was slowly trickling towards it for the longest time. I was like maybe receiving 10 subs at most every event, and then suddenly, when I was nearly approaching like 990, I got like 20 subs within like 3 days or something. Like, you guys got a bit too excited. It was making me reach it, but thank you very much, all of you, for all your support. It's an old phone, but it works fine, so I never got rid of it. Well, you know, if it works, it works. From personal experience, the Blossom quest gives, but I don't know the exact rates and haven't been track. So you believe the Blossom quests give more, what's called, greater attack and HP seeds? That's something I'd like to confirm, because I know that when I do start grinding seeds, I'd like to grind for the most optimal one in terms of which gives more, because, you know, we have those C boosting ARs now, and I don't know, I felt like maybe it would have been an efficiency ways to go to doing the Blossom one that gives some greater ones as well, rather than doing the greater, the other one, which gives both greater seeds as well as regular seeds. Do you think it gives more overall, even when considering the effect of the regular seeds from the tier below it? Like, if you were to grind 4 seeds, attack and HP seeds, would you do it in the one that gives both greater and regular HP and attack seeds, or would you do it in the one that gives lesser blossoms as well as greater HP and attack seeds? What would you say you would do? Look, I need your information, please. Because I don't think anyone else understands my question. Oh, you wonder if it's in mastery? I mean, you know, that information of item drop frequency used to be available, but then they started censoring it after a certain point. I'm not sure if they still censor it now, or if that was just for dungeons, but it might be still available in master data, but you still have to play the quest itself to get it. It's not in the master data. In terms of just the base code, you actually need to access the server, and then they return it from their, I guess, personal code there. I'm guessing they check the rates there, and then they only send you the rates if you happen to get it. That was the impression I got when I was looking at the original way the wiki handled drop rates of things like treasure chests and all that. For seeds alone, I guess non-blossom quest? I don't really remember too well. Okay. Well, you know, there is a really big difference, because it's like, even if you get like one greater seed last, like, how do I describe this? What's it called? Even if you got like only one greater seed more in the blossom quest, to make that up in the other one, you would need at least 4 medium seeds as a result to even like make up the difference. Since, you know, it's like greater seeds or give a stat 10 and medium ones only give stat 3. Lola, nice to see you again. Because I think the greater seed rate is comparable, if not slightly higher, in the Blossom quest.
I have a contract tied up.
Honestly, your channel appeared out of nowhere for me, so that's why I only joined until now. I wasn't even aware there were English Housamo channels. Haha. Okay, well, thank you, YouTube, for setting up that recommendation algorithm. Usually people find me through, what's it called? The Discord server, or through word of mouth. I'm not exactly sure of what my exposure is in terms of, like, recommendations and all that. But yeah, thank you. Consider me a starting point. There is many other Housamo English content makers, such as Mel Cosmo here in chat with us. And there's also a few others that I discussed with. Oh no, the chat's going too fast. I should start reading other comments. Because I think greater seed rate is comfortable if not so you heard Blossom Quest. I know I already read that, but I was still wondering about that. Because that sounds like the opposite of what you just said before, where you recommend the non-blossom one. Hi. What do the two new ARs do, and what are your personal thoughts around them? Well, we only have one AR so far. That AR gives Guts Strengthening, which is just like it gives you CP when you happen to have Guts. And also, if you don't move, then you give that unit gives a CP to everyone around them, as well as maybe themselves. I forgot if it's to themselves as well. Probably. So it's, you know, it's an okay CP AR. The CP is decent, but it's just like, usually your CP batteries want to move too as well. So you're not going to be able to stack them, like if they do require to move to give CP. I'll tell you about the other one after I read the rest. But if you don't care about Blossoms, I don't know the rate difference well enough to take into consideration the difference in 3+ and 10+. Okay, I suppose if it's ambiguous territory, then I will just have to make the executive decision myself at some point. Only if you... Actually, maybe you could tell me the maximum amount of Blossoms and... what's it called? Can you tell me the maximum amount of Blossoms... Sorry, not Blossoms. Can you tell me about the maximum amount of seeds you got from both medium and greater seeds? I know there's like a rate, but try and ignore rate, and if you just give me the maximum for both, maybe I'll just base it off of that. Only if you had your units seed level 100, then you use the Blossom seeds. Yeah, that's how they work. I'm just talking about it because I haven't really grinded seeds before, but I might be doing that soon based on whenever chapter 12 gets translated. Or is it 11? Probably 12. are favorited by the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, it only sees those above 1,000. Actually, now that I think about it, you should. There are other YouTube channels that are over 1,000. There's Narwhal, although I don't think he makes that much Housamo content that often. And then there's also the Housamo English archives, although that's more of an archiving channel than a personal content kind. Sometimes they make personal content though. Look out for those rare streams. But yeah, I guess I just got lucky with being recommended to you. But there are more like me. But I am probably the only one that does streams like this with my voice and everything. I remember Guts only wears off when KO or 5 turns. Yeah, that's right. So it's a temporary effect, but if you can keep Guts up for some reason, then you know you can get more mileage out of that AR. are becoming a big shot YouTuber. You're a big shot. Yeah, hopefully I can grow a lot more and provide better content. It's always a learning process for me. I've learned more techniques and all that, but sometimes I go over the top and do too much editing. It's a balancing act as well. But I'm also kind of just taking it easy, which is why maybe I have been growing slower than other ones. I know some people like only publish like 5 videos and they're like so well edited and they get 1,000 subs. But for me, the entire thing from the beginning is like I've never even touched the video editor when I did my first video, and it's just there's been a lot since then that I've learned in terms of streaming and video editing and all that, which I've never done before. I found you because YouTube recommended me your chapter 10 story, then joined the Discord. Oh, I hope you enjoyed it. There were some issues with sound quality then, because there's always issues with sound quality. I just want one chapter where there's no issues with sound quality. I think chapter 11 turned out fairly well though. Although I think I wasn't able to separate the... I mistakenly forgot to separate the game audio from my own voice, so I can't like manually adjust one from the other, unfortunately. But I will try. Hopefully that will not happen next time. Even I've been doing it for like 3 chapters in a row now. I'm happy I did. I think YouTube just saw I was watching almost all the time battle themes from the game, which are great for no reason, and some meme videos, and then bam, my channel. That's what I like to hear. Bam, an epiphany. My channel showed up with my awesome thumbnails that I definitely don't spend too much time working on. Max cap. I really don't recall off the top of my head. Okay, well, you know, that's unfortunate is all I can say. Maybe I'll ask Irby or Zalgus about it later. I only have a mission that says I had to use the thrust units. There are some other missions related to collecting more dupes for that AR, such as using magic units. But I already completed them all. They're not really difficult to finish at all, especially for the long period of time. Honestly, I don't even recall how I found out your channel clearly either. All I know it was from the videos recommended while watching another video. But whose video I was watching is forgotten. Yeah. I'm glad that the recommendation algorithm is working then. When I first started doing this channel, I think I've said this multiple times for now, but... There were no other English channels like this that were making content, and I was really sad when I realized that. I was like, where's the English gameplay? Where is it? The closest thing was Barasen, and still he was doing Japanese gameplay, but and like everyone else was not even doing gameplay. They're doing like MMD dances or skits or something like that. So yeah, I love the game even back then. Perhaps not as much as I did now because the game mechanics have really evolved. But yeah, I just wanted to share that experience with other people, and I was like, seriously? There's no one? Okay, I guess I'll post a few videos myself, and then kind of just accidentally grew this big. And here you are today. Quite the story. Quite the serendipity. But yeah, it's quite an interesting story, but that I will not get into anymore. So the extra effort is gut strengthening. Finally, I was wondering what the extra effect that skill that the skill database didn't have was translated was. Yeah, it's just CP to self. I think it's 8 CP to self every time you have guts. So yes, there's specific CP you get. I don't understand why the game, even when translated inside the game, doesn't give you the specific CP amounts. It's kind of stupid, but I think it's really important, especially for something that you know is you always need 100 of. I really only focus on the blossom count, which is 1 max. That's so terrible. Since I don't care too much about stats anymore. I see. SCP are going into people's recommendations. Are you calling me a secure, care, protect creature? I heard they're doing remakes of the original one that got super popular since but it was an interesting experience getting into that. I recorded Valentine's Fantasy event on my main account. Oof. Yeah, that is the beginning experience. So I don't know, at some point, if you look at the Discord server that we're all in, which is linked in the description, by the way, it's always linked in the description, at least for my host mode videos. It seems like there's a growing, increasing amount of people who like the game and didn't just want to record it and share videos of it. Sometimes it's just personal in Discord, but oftentimes it actually is just sharing it on YouTube, so it is kind of almost becoming like a rite of passage to start recording stuff and sharing it, because that's how we, you know, amplify our enjoyment of this game, sharing our personal experiences, finding new teams, and, you know, actually seeing actual footage of it rather than just typing out the words for it. Greetings from Mexico. Hello, Samuel. We are just continuing a grind, and holy crap, that was a lot of things to comment on. But yeah, yep. Milk was just telling me about the difference between the two different Greater Sea quests, and the others were just talking about how they found my channel. Oh, the Foundation gonna come for you if they find out you're an SCP. Some of them are quite cute. One of my favorite SCP stories was the one with the wizard, where it's like he was in the book and was making like, would make them like live out their dream come true. It had this really tragic ending for one of the entries where it was like they finally woke up and then they immediately committed suicide because it was like their living reality was just like much worse than the dream they were living in all that time. But I thought it was really cool. I actually did read them back then when it was still just growing, but I haven't really checked upon SCP for a while. I know there was like SCP animations, those are neat. But you know, I guess it's fallen out of favor, not as trendy anymore. Not that I was ever particularly trendy, but it was cool for a while. I found your channel by being your friend. Yeah, you did, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't say you found it by that. I was just, was my channel even up by then? I don't know. I can't even remember. I think it was, yeah. You were like messaging a few times in the chat. But yeah, thank you for being here still. People come and go, and it always breaks my heart when people go, you know. But I know that life is just like that. But glad you're still around and that I can still talk to you, Luther. I love the slime one, 999 I think, because it's literally just a slime that loves everyone and wants to give hugs. That's someone's fetish. I mean, I think I would like that too, but for different reasons. I occasionally have SCP phases where I check back in and read some new ones. Yeah, honestly, it's just a very interesting feel to it, reading personal records and all that. And I don't know, it's just like modern horror in a way that's not like, they're not written in a way where they'd obviously be written in front of like some sort of, you know, campfire for ghost stories or some shit like that. There's no ghosts, there's no, you know, traditional horror. It's just actual scientific, as if, you know, society was trying to contain these things and keep it secret. And they don't have to be aliens, they don't have to be anything, they just have to be anomalies, which is like, I think that's the greatest strength of SCPs. The sky's the imagination and they don't have to follow any trope for it. The Golden Cavern dungeon changes different randomly, so you see the last phase as a big boss or lucky cats, and you obtain them instead of the ally summon. No, okay there. And you obtain them instead of the ally summon. It takes a few times to get to it. I don't think there's actually a correlation between seeing the lucky cats in battle versus actually, you know, receiving them as a reward. I think it's just incidental. But I don't think the lucky cats even have to be in the last phase. I think I've seen them in like some previous phase before that. So, but yeah, the big boss is definitely just always in the last phase if it even is there. I do wish LifeWonders would make the lamp oils a lot more accessible. Just give it more often, I guess, because I don't know, they're too scarce, and I'd like to, you know, what's it called, grind a lot more in the limited coin dungeon. But right now, you can't even call it grinding. It's just like, you do it based on how much things they give you, and then you got a certain amount, but it's not too much, I guess. Like, think about it this way. If you're given one drink every day, and that gets you 1 million, maybe 1.59 million if you have all the boosts ready. Compare that to like a single day of grinding, which can get you 20 million. It's like there's no contest, right? Like, what the fuck? It just doesn't feel like a legitimate grinding source. It's just a nice bonus to have, but not really something you'll get a lot out of. Like, at most, if you log in every day, maybe you'll get like 20 million total, but that's just like one day, as I said, from just grinding. Also, yes, you can talk to me whenever. I've just been a bit busy with stuff. I'll probably message you later about it. Yeah, I'd like to hear about it. There's just a big time gap there missing. The missing days of Luther, as they say. Also, the teddy bear that makes patchwork organs for people missing them, so they can keep living, but it gets depressed when it can't help people, so it helps, hugs them, and cries if it can't help. Bittersweet. I think I've seen stories like that. It's been a long time since I've seen anything, so any of the newer ones, I probably do not know. That one is not familiar to me. But yeah. I know some of them just because of the game make that someone decided to make based on a few SCPs, which was pretty cool. There's one about some sort of door that led you to some alternate world. I don't know. Now that I'm being put on the spot about this randomly far off topic, I can't really remember anything off the top of my head. I definitely like the wholesome SPs more, but the creepy ones can be quite good as well. Overall good content. That's my feeling with Housamos. I definitely like, you know, I'm already talking the more basic ones, but, you know, sometimes Miniaki has a place there. Yeah, sorry for going Carmen Sandiego. That's a series I've actually never played. You should definitely say something like, where's Waldo instead. I forgot I have Valentine's, Guillemot, and Barguest. It's okay, everyone forgets about Barguest. I'm kidding, I just said that because I saw Archie's commenting back. But yeah, Barguest is an okay tank, I guess. I use them one time for like one challenge quest. Guillemot I've used because, I don't know. One time it was just for his healer or something, but no, no. Read SCP-5031. Oh yeah, it's so memorable to play the number. I will definitely get to that. It's pretty good. Like, there might have been a chance if you asked me, like, near the end of my stream, but that's like an hour from now, so I'm probably just gonna forget halfway through, honestly. But yeah, modern horror stories can take a page out of what SCP does. No ghosts, no, you know, what's called demonic clowns from some unknown dead sound story. I don't know. It could be anything. The focus is on anomalies, things that are out of the normal and that are ineffable, difficult to understand. And attempts to understand them can put you in danger. I think that's cool. Where's Waldo? More like, look for Luther. Quite. I noticed Barguest's taunt buff is for him as a tank in case he has a defensive buff on him. Yeah. That's kind of his thing as someone who attracts bad luck. So, you know, lore gameplay right there. One of the few units that can do taunt to stuff like that. Taunt is still somewhat rare. But, you know, his taunt usage has kind of been not as notable anymore since you could just bring like a Katobu Plus or even like an Elf vibe now. Me beating challenge quests with my slash range team of Valen Barguest, Valen Kenta, Valentine Ketchi, and Summer Shenlong. One row L time. Wow, that is kind of disgusting. But if you have Summer Shenlong, I'm sure you are using an orange charge every now and then. Horror gameplay done right. The taunt buff icon looks like a lock debuff from this idea. It's a good thing I have terrible game fluency, so I have no idea what that looks like. 4-turn clears with Nikuro is not fair. Oh, Nightcraw's Kurugane, not Nikuro. It's just how it is. You either have them or you don't. Actually, you can get by with Crispus Nomad if you have them too. But if you don't want to see them, then you will also need to bring someone like, what's her face here? Yaksha, just for the sniper range, so they can equip the glint, Beast Neighbor AR. I got Valentine Ketchi while trying to go for Itsamna and realizing that he fits better because Ketchi gives tenacity while Barghest gives protection, giving team-wide double defense. I mean, yeah, that works out okay, I guess. You could also just do evasion spam with, you know, Valentine Itsamna and Kagutsuchi, but, you know, regular defense is fine too, I guess. Okay, I checked, and I think you can get the 3 max from the Blossom Quest. Don't remember the Sea Quest. 3, so 30 total. Well, maybe I'll just try to scout around for different videos of the old Blossom Quest, and since I doubt anyone else does it anymore too, since everyone's in it for the Blossoms. I have Valentine Ketchi as well. Yeah, I do too, unfortunately. I only say that because like I'm never gonna use him again. Like, you know, his buffs are nice, but you can't really control turn on positioning for his buffs, so it's like whatever. Shake my head, not gonna rely on a future patched strat. Don't you see, Archie? By presenting it so blatantly like that, for everyone to see in such a well-polished manner, it's like LifeWonders has no choice but to keep it in, otherwise I will make an angry post on YouTube. I'm kidding, I wouldn't do that. 3 is pretty rare though. 1 to 2 is more typical. I mean, yeah, I'm just seeing the maximum possible because, you know, we have those rate boosters now for seeds. And assuming they're all at least 50% when you have all the rate boosters up, then I feel like that's like a reliable rate to compare versus, you know, whatever you got in the lower one. But I will need to see what the maximum is for the lower ones. Oh, Wendy, since you're here too, and you grind for a seed sometimes, right, Wendy? Could you tell me, do you remember, if you do remember, what the maximum amount of large seeds you can get is in the quest where you get both large seeds as well as medium seeds? Opog, how have I never noticed that the music softens while you speak? That's because I never always had it on. It's just a recent feature that I added maybe like a few months ago. But yeah, it was a feature I really needed because sound routing is a pain and sound ducking makes things a lot more easier. 3 max seeds from Blossom Quest isn't that uncommon. Yeah, bless Illier, for sure. Even though I don't grind. Oh no, I pressed the wrong thing! What did I press? Why are you still here? When I talk and I try to do things, I screw things up. Housamo on my screen at the moment. Are you using him? I'm not sure why you're getting it. Valentine Broadcast is one of those units I have that I don't really use. Oh, give me a sec. That I don't really use, but that's because my inability of team building in this game. I mean, once you do know how to team build, you probably won't use them because you'll be using the energy instead. There's only very few situations where you'd be using Valentine Broadcast instead. Incidentally, if you happen to have Christmas Benton, that would be one of the situations, I guess. But even then, it's like, you don't really want to move her. Really, maybe my luck is just bad then. Or maybe Wendy's just too lucky. Can't remember TBH. Sorry, that's unfortunate, but that's fine, I guess. I also could have been having pretty nifty luck. I mean, Wendy is pretty lucky when it comes to that sort of stuff. I love Vargas, though, a lot. Yeah, Vargas is a pretty popular character. I say that, but maybe that's just because I hang out with Archie too much. So big bias there. Recency bias since I haven't been playing those quests until the event ended, lol. Well, you know, people grinded it for a bit, but now everyone's moving on to Blossom 1 because everyone wants Blossoms, but when I begin the grinding, I'm not gonna be getting this Blossoms at all because I feel like they're a ripoff. So I want to see which one is more efficient for seeds. The Blossom one, sorry, the lesser Blossom one, or the greater / medium seed one. Oop, stream buffered for a moment when you were talking. No, I don't believe it. I still see 0 drop frames. I think I also remembered my grind before LEAR existed too, lol. Oh, yeah. Imagine grinding when you don't have boosters. It's a good thing I'm always playing a chapter behind. But yeah, I will need to start thinking about grinding now that those C boosters are up, and probably chapter 12 is going to be released soon as an English translation. Uh-oh, Luther, you gotta stop doing that or I will smack you. It's back on Law's End. Valid. Are living in his Internet Explorer. My internet is fine. You guys check your internet, right? I see 0 drop frames according to OBS. I'm fine. It's you guys. Probably. I don't know. Oh, I see. Well, my progression in the story game is completely translation dependent. So I do it because I want to be able to play the story simultaneously with the battle events. Like, imagine doing the Mahaka battle without actually knowing what the heck was happening in the story. That would have been depressing, but a lot of people did anyways because they wanted to rush and get all the node quests, even though apparently it was less efficient that way since you don't have the boosters. So, lesson learned. I'm not gonna feel bad about not being able to do the Blossom quest straight away or whatever is released next because we don't even have all the boosters for it yet. My Wi-Fi is fine. Okay. Blame YouTube though, not me. I don't know. I am thinking of considering replacing my modem though. I did mention that earlier in the stream. There have been some drops earlier in the days, but I don't think like it's happening right now. Does boosting the LEAR increase the drop rate for seeds, or is it just charm on phase? I think it might be just the charm that's being boosted, but you best check the wiki. I'm pretty sure the item boosting ones don't actually change the amount that's dropped by max level, but you know, I pretty sure it doesn't mean much for me since I haven't really used them since I haven't been grinding those kind of items. If someone could double check that, I'd be very grateful on Luce's behalf. If you're gonna smack me, don't be shy. Well, make sure that when I'm smacking it's in the place you want to be smacking. Well, I'll have the 5-star MC, and you'll just be here like, OMG, did you all see? God, you like, shut the fuck up when he gonna punch your fucking ass to the moon. Jesus Christ. My internet is utter trash, so never listen to me complaining. There. It's alright. That it was terrible comforting. I don't know, get a better modem is probably the real answer, but you know, we all have different stages in life where we may not necessarily be able to do that. Getting a better computer also helps. That's what I did, even though I still have the same internet connection as I did before. My streams back then were quite slow just because of my computer's capabilities. Not entirely sure which facet. Maybe it's like the RAM, maybe it's the processing power. I don't know, I'm not the best computer guy. Kind of just had my brother help me out with the purchases and know-how for that. Wi-Fi is fine for me. I'm more worried about my phone. Oh, let's not waste anything here. My internet's so Wi-Fi is fine for me. I'm more worried about my phone's YouTube app taking the plunge here. It comes at random. Yeah, it happens. It scales 5 to 10%. Is that so? Well, thank you for that, Sunriser. We will have to take your word for it since no one else confirmed it. But just take fault. As a rule of principle, you really should just be maxing all your ARs that are in the shop anyways. So, you know, just like, don't even ask a question, just max it, you know? Yeah, you're just pronounced RAM as RAM, we know you're not good at computers. I'm gonna punch your face until it's shaped like Phoebus's. I'm kind of hoping that Chapter 12 gets translated soon, so I can understand what's going on, and I can get to understand why we're fighting someone at a time. That makes the fight more fun, in my opinion. No, I fully agree. I fully enjoyed being immersed in battle in terms of the Shiva battles and the Mahakal battles in Chapter 12. And, you know, same thing for when Chapter 8 was released, seeing all the exceptions, fighting them all at once and all that in mid-story like that. It was cool. It would have been, like, that was a cool moment of actually facing them one by one mid-story, and I think it would have been a lot more depressing to just, like, find out just through the battles that you would be facing them without knowing the context of the story. So I've been pretty good with avoiding pros like that. Speaking of spoilers, yeah, I did mention this in passing, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm starting to lean towards recording Chapter 12 again. I know, like, some people wanted me to stream it, but I don't know. I feel like I really should just stick with recording it rather than streaming it, because better editing power, I can cut off a lot of ums and ahs and all of the loading screens, and better sound power, theoretically, even though they keep on being worse. Hopefully I don't screw up this time. And also just so that I can avoid spoilers in chat and all that. Some people have actually spoiled me for some reason in, like, the event quests. I'm like, why would you do this? I'm about to find out in the next chapter. Why would you tell me? It's like, keep it yourself, you know? And I do not want that kind of spoiling to be happening to, like, the actual story that matters, so. Anyways, those are my thoughts, and I'm still not fully decided, but I am leaning towards just recording it now. I speed read the quests and try to pretend what's going on through the music and animations. That is incredibly depressing. What the heck? I pretend to understand. What the heck? Oh my gosh. That makes it even worse. That's like you're just ad-libbing it and like watching a conversation happen from the background while you're in the same room as some other people far away, and, like, you know, adding words to them as a joke or something. I'm hearing jazz music. I only like it when it has a kick into it. When it has a kick into it. Oh, you mean like hard jazz? Like with the saxophone, the nasty sax, with the very dissonant kind of progressions? I mean, you know, jazz is as specific of a musical term as classical is. It's almost meaningless at this point. Honestly, I never thought to max the ARs, mostly because I'm buying tickets, but I can understand why. I'm just getting the gene treatment max, so leveling units is a bit easier. Yeah, for sure. What's it called? How do I describe this? You should max them for the same reason you're even getting one copy in the first place, because you want those extra boosted rewards for the metagame. And I don't mean metagame as in, you know, who you should play or what unit is strongest. I mean the metagame as in the game outside of the game. The game outside of battles, which is resource maximization. And the fact of the matter is, the best way you can do resource maximization in this metagame is to get them as soon as possible. Any sort of dilly-dallying of, like, putting it off to max it really is just a loss of resources, because that would be resources you could get now rather than later. Whereas tickets don't have any such, you know, intrinsic value of getting them earlier versus later. So yeah. Ryota Dungeon is like a prologue for Chapter 13. Are you fine with that? You may have... I'm not sure if I'm entirely fine with that, but if, according to Archie, it was released after Chapter 11, so it should be fine. Indigo Rain plays in the beginning of the story. Sad story. No, Archie, no. It's not just sad, there's depth to it. You can't just minimize it like that. But yeah, ask Archie about it, because even I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not asking you. Archie, what's out of the... supposedly he's saying it's been like a Chapter 13 prologue, but it was released after Chapter 11. Arch reading through untranslated conversations about love through animations. Ugh. Don't even talk to me. Why would you do this to yourself? Sorry, I'm a very particular person when it comes to spoilers, including people who decide to spoil themselves and miss the full effect of it as a result. I know Kimun's name is now showing in English. Rip Oguchi's name is still Japanese. I mean, Kimun's event has been translated from a lot longer. Oguchi's, however, still hasn't even been out for a year. For Time and Space End starts playing. Ah, yes, I feel you did. Yeah. I think I recognize that one. It's the one with the harp kind of playing subtly in the background. Blocking out negativity by skipping the dungeon stories. Is there something that could happen in dungeon stories? Stop spoiling. Yamero! But yeah, FK Dungeon came out after Chapter 11. Yeah, so it should be fine. That's just like the intended watch order then. Now that's so sad, Arch. That's what I'm saying, Lewis. Jeez, Archie. Well, I guess, because Archie is the archive channel, as a result, he might have to be exposed to some untranslated content sometimes just to confirm. But I'm sure he can avoid it if it just follows the news. But I guess his interest in the stories also came from the fact that he's been following fan relations all this time too. And you know what? That's fine, I guess. It's something I strongly disagree with personally, but for other people it works, I guess. Dangan Ronka music got me coming back. Yeah. Most of my Dangan Ronka music here is from like the third game. Oh, sorry, the V3 rather. But this is probably my favorite track from the first game. Is that in a Beautiful Ruin? I think that's what it's called. Beautiful Ruin, something like that. It's from the second game though. No, it was the other beautiful thing. Since when Kimun's Japanese voice was core from Final Fantasy 15, I do not play Final Fantasy games besides 14, which is not a real Final Fantasy game. I'm still waiting for Fashionista event RTL to get translated. I believe it has it, right? Nope. It's been like over 2 years now, and it still has not been translated. And everyone was expecting it to be this time, but instead we got this. If you join the server, there's an entire meme about it in the server icon and banner. With Arachne kind of just like, no rerun, except in place of no bitches. So I can't understand what Arachne's deal is because I love her design. Yeah, she's cool. And we see some translated parts of her outside of her story as a result because it's just been that long. Also, just love the Fashionista cast in general, so I want to see more of them in general. Yep. Sasagwa and what's it called? I already forgot the rest. That's not Sasagwa by story, it's just, I don't know. This kid is the most mean. Oh yeah, there's Zabanya too, I guess. I don't know. They're okay. I think the reason why they held off on it for so long is because it was such a big seller, apparently. And they're like, okay, we're gonna release this in like an empty period, and it's gonna make so much sales, and they just kept on putting it off because they had other things, and then COVID happened, and then now it's just been a bit too late, and that's just a bit awkward to release. Is Milk still here? Look, tell Ara to play Astorica. Nah. My phone can only handle one game. Fan translations are pretty accurate though. Everything's pretty 1-1 aside from the occasional joke changes and translation weakness. It's not the same! It's not the same! It's like reading the subtitles of a story first and then seeing the video of it after. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? You're missing the visual cues, you're missing the background, and the jokes, take them out of it. It's gonna be highlighted in that kind of lens. And also it's written in a way that's not a script like. It's like set in a way that's past tense, at least the way Rorim does it. It's like, Blade says something about X and Y and Z. And it's like, that's not what they're saying. They don't say this person said that. They're just showing them speaking. And I think that's a very different feel. It makes it read more like an archive than it does in a story unfolding. I play Final Fantasy 14? Yes, I do. Well, I haven't in a good while because, I don't know, I'm just waiting for the next patch. Well, let's just leave it at that. For the Elfin quests. I'm hoping for Virtual Summer Memory. I need to know more about Ombre Tigre. You can see that he has been completely shafted for this Year of the Tiger, so maybe they'll shaft him again and not release Virtual Summer Memory. The banner revisits of the Fashionista banner sometimes since last year. Yeah, sometimes they release units individually, and other times they release them, what's it called, the entire banner again, but a fully fledged reprint? No. I'm starting to doubt if we'll even get one at this point. Maybe it'll just be like a reprinted story without a fully fledged like drop quest reprint. Satha is the only one that matters. I don't know about that. No Sat's best, like I said. Suzuka and Amatsu Erasure. Oh yeah, well Suzuka's a meme, and Matsumara, I mean, kind of yeah, just erase them completely. Yeah, Historica is a battery burner. LOL. Yeah, no thanks. My battery is like so shit right now, and like my phone is at the end of this lifespan. I need a new one. It's actually been in permanent like battery saving mode all this time for now, and it's still like draining it within like an hour. And yeah, I just need to keep it constantly plugged in while I stream, which you know is a given. But I'm saying like it would probably die like alarmingly fast if I didn't have it like that. I'm excited for Zabani because he's Bay. Sasako is also Bay. Suzuka Bay. Everyone in the event is Bay. Whoa, I'm seeing that Amatsumara casual skipping. I see. Rip. Well, you know, not everyone likes him, but I know some people see them along with the other crafters because if you join the server, there's like people that see their favorite unit as well as everyone else in their associated guild, like with the Genociders, or there's also the community of the Kenshi, and then there's also people who seed everyone based on being crafters because they like crafters. The story of Historica is pretty fun. I would not know, but I know Final Fantasy 14 as well. I mean, who doesn't? It's just the game that everyone plays when Housamo goes on a drought. Or, you know, any other game, that is to say. What role do you play in? I play in Omega, I think? Maybe Omega. Also, same for Virtual Summer. Hold on, let me just make a move here. After Gotai Dai happens. Okay, yeah. Same for Virtual Summer Memory. Shenong was great in the main story. I love that Kabadon, hehe. Also, I do quite like Fish Steps with his mommy issues. Yeah, Shenong was pretty cool in his main story. I don't know, like, Shenong was carrying, and his arc was kind of abruptly cut off because of the whole Skelly Poke thing. But, you know, he's carrying, and that's fine enough. And Face This is kind of a piece of work with his mommy issues, and I don't want to talk about that. I was trying to enjoy the crafter's anniversary, but then it was like I couldn't take it seriously because of his constant, very upfront mommy nipple sucking from us. Like, yo, calm down. Like, there are people that thirst for you, you know. Like, wait, don't do this to them. Yeah, no way. I'm actually playing Final Fantasy 14 at the moment. I'm on Stormblood, I mean Scenario Quest. Oh, okay. Maybe I will zip my mouth then for anything. I think I already said one semi-spoiler thing, but I will just not continue that. But yeah, hope you enjoy it. It's a lot of, well, one person in particular. Irby is the one who got me into the game primarily, but Zalgus also plays it, and that's like their main games, honestly, outside of Housamo. So of course I would have to join too. It's something I never streamed because when I did play it, it was for an embarrassingly long period of time. That like I did not want people to see me playing it for this long because I was like, I did not want to give the impression that I had that much free time. But suffice to say, I was playing maybe 8 hours a day at its worst. So yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna stream that. Amao, no, I love musclegrams. Don't call me out on my laziness for not wanting to write Matsumara and Wakantanka. Oh yeah, Wakantanka exists too, I guess. Okay, that's fair enough. I know it since Final Fantasy 14. By the way, like, the chat is caught up with me. I am behind in reading this because you guys have a lot to say. I know since Final Fantasy Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Endwalkers, warning, Endwalker spoilers. No spoilers in chat. If you know that someone else is not caught up. Damn, not the same world. Wait, you played too, loser? Well, of course. Genova. Why does it sound like a real life location? I played Final Fantasy A Stranger of Paradise. I heard there was some weird feedback on that. And waiting for the release of a freestyle. Oh, a gacha. I'm not sure what you mean. The Silt a gacha? Never heard of it. Never heard of her. I know all Final Fantasy characters. I do not. All I know is a test of your reflexes. Oh, if you spoiled something, I didn't hear it. My brain was working at full capacity trying to survive Eorzea and listen to the stream. Fair enough, fair enough. Hey, look at you playing Final Fantasy while streaming. Sounds like my discussion buddies. Kind of like I put on so much effort for the discussion streams and prepare the assets and do the timing, schedule the everything, get their consultation, write notes for everyone, and then when we do the stream, it was just like, you know, it's like they come in and they're like, oh, after I say like 20 minutes of my piece, they're like, yeah, this unit's kind of shit, and then they go back to playing Final Fantasy midstream. I'm like, bruh, why are you doing this to me? Have some reverence. I mean, I guess it's fine in the end, but still, you know, my feelings may have been a bit stepped on. But it's okay. They can keep on doing that. I'm just like, you know, being petty because I think it's fun to be petty sometimes. Bet you don't get infected with geostigma from Genova cells. I don't know that reference, but I will pretend I understand. Yeah, I play too. My boyfriend got me into it. Nice. Personally, of course, it's like everyone's dragged into that hellhole that was Final Fantasy. Personally, I'm on Fairy because a friend told me to go there, and because of how fruity it sounds. That is certainly a reason. The first server I joined was actually Omega time. It was pretty empty, and I actually got the EXP bonus as a result. But I actually switched servers twice, once to go somewhere else and another to go back, because a friend wanted me to play and then they stopped playing. That was annoying. Lamau, was Irby actually playing it during the stream? I think he was actually, yeah. Classic. Oh, that's just so funny but kind of sad. It is. Farm MGP. Oh no, you're giving Milk ideas? No. Milk actually just started playing Final Fantasy 2 because, of course, everyone's getting dragged into the hellhole. Barry is the gay server on around Clink. You guys just know the server dynamics of different servers. Meanwhile, I'm just like, I pretend no other server exists. I pretend I do not see. Frost guards were released since Shadowbringers, so if you look like Kimari from... Hold on, let me just do this. If you look like Kimari from Final Fantasy X due to your size and face, and it dubs Cat Dad. It pays to know lots of good games so you understand references, but I feel like that after a certain point you just gotta, you know, call it quits. Content outside of the subscription-based Final Fantasy. I mean, it's not... You can still play for free up to the end of what's called the first expansion. What's the first expansion? I already forgot. Shadowbringers, Stormblood? No, it's not that one. It's not Endwalkers. It's it's the dragon one. That one. You can play it up to that one. Heaven's Word, that's it. What race do you play as, Ara? I will give you two guesses. Content being an adjective, not a noun. Content outside of the subscription-based Final Fantasy. Oh, I see. I mean, you already told me your situation, so like you wouldn't be able to play the free one anyways, since you're busy. I've seen multiple free companies with surnames like LGBTQ, Himbo. I don't remember another one, but I bet it's fruity as well. That is definitely something. I don't know, it seems like, you know, what's called fruitiness and the gay culture without necessarily having, being gay is kind of just trending right now. Ara doing the Final Fantasy 14 ad. I don't remember anything past the first few words to do it, but I know Irby does. He like executes it perfectly every time. Have you heard about the something MMORPG or some shit like that? I was shocked that Squall's outfit is 330 days of playing. Hold on, let me see this. I was shocked that Squall's outfit is 330 days of paying it for the veteran awards. Oh, you're actually like looking for glamours and all that, and one of them got your eye and it happened to be like, you had to pay a lot. I mean, they're just glamours. Like, there's a lot more content. If you're actually playing the game, then you're probably gonna play for at least a couple of months without stopping, in terms of just trying to catch up. So it's fair enough to expect people to play out that many days. Like, that's less because you're not gonna be worried as much of glamours as much as you are just trying to keep up with the story at that point. life. Either Ro or I don't know, Hrothgar. Ro, because I played the free version, so yeah, there you go. But it probably would be Hrothgar anyways. Yes, I was also playing Final Fantasy in the background of the stream once. I think I was just doing dailies. Ugh, there you go. The confession! Caught red-handed. Police, take him away. I'm kidding. Hours of discussion in streams are now officially as critically acclaimed as Final Fantasy 14. Well, there certainly is a lot of critics within it for sure. And now I shall enjoy the sudden silence with a sip of water that I've been missing since my breath has run out for a while. Alright. Same. I started out as Ro, but as soon as I was able to, aka when I got Endwalker's registered, you switched to Hrothgar. Everybody loves the homocat species. You know, except for people that want fucking bunny girls! God, I hate the bunny girl species so much. Does YouTube have a hydrate bot? Because they hot. Yeah, they are. But, you know, it's almost a bit too on the nose with what they are. Okay, I don't have a problem with Hrothgars. I just have a bit of a problem with Hrothgar players that make them overly sexually naked and shit like that. It's like, come on. You know, they gave you this. The least you can do is try to, you know, save face a bit. Make them a bit fashionable. Not just outright naked and jokingly dressed. Being a Ro erased, or its full name, Rogadin, you imagine yourself seeing yourself with a huge chest. Yeah. I picked the smallest possible Rogadin just because I don't know. I like the contrast, but at the same time, I still end up being larger than every other character in the main story because, you know, of course, Rogadins are completely overlooked in the main story because everybody loves their twink characters. Wow, Viera hate. I loved a friend in Final Fantasy. Is that 12? Yeah, it's 12. I talked about this before in passing in the Suncore, but it's just like, my problem, I guess, it really isn't. It's more about the cultural perception of everyone wanting bunny girls and these kimono mimis. So, like, removing any proper furry representation because of, you know, popular demand. It's not even because of it's not even the creator's fault. It's just people want it, and I think that's just really sad. They just want the big booba girl, except with bunny ears. No, actual female furries allowed. Hrothgar are dressed only in curl beach briefs. Yamate kudasai. Yes, I got it right. Let's go. I mean, it's not exactly a difficult guess. I know Fran from Final Fantasy 12 as well. You guys play your games. I actually... You know, it's not surprising. I never played too many games before anyways. Besides Nintendo games, and Final Fantasy is just not on Nintendo generally. Kuni was right. You're damn right, Kuni was right. I fucking... Now I can see why he's enraged by Ben 10 wearing those stupid cat ears. I mean, I think, you know, it's good in terms of dynamic of him being pissed off even more. But yeah, Kimono Mimi can go jump off a cliff. Hey, it was difficult for me, sorta. I mean, the other choices are... Let's see, Twink with... human Twink. Twink with metal platings all over their body. Potato. Twink with elvish features. So, and I think that's it. There's like multiple variations of Twink. And then you have Potato, Rogadin, and then Hrothgar. Oh yeah, there's also two different Kimono Mimi species, aren't there? Twink, there's a rabbit species, and then there's a the cat species. Yeah, twink cat. Fuck that. Jesus Christ. It's like, as much as I love the gameplay from Final Fantasy, it probably has the most disappointing race/species list out of all MMOs I've played before. They're all just humans with like slight modifications. It's so pointless and lazy and disappointing. Like, as much flack as WoW got, at least like Taurens are hot and very different and have different dimorphism as well. But, and you know, orcs as well, they're just a lot more different than Rogadins, which are, you know, that's like the orc equivalent, except they could still pass off as human. It's like everyone's just human in the end, except for Hrothgar apparently. Well, if you're not gonna call them the twink, you can call them the twink. Not sure if I'd call Aura a twink in response to that comment. I only like Final Fantasy VII because I saw Cloud's Advent Children after the classic. Actually, there are beefy humans. I don't know about that. After all, they're definitely not the main story. No chubby option, sad. I know. That's really disappointing. I think I just minimized the amount of like muscle mass or something to try to emphasize the fat features of my row, but yeah, there's like chubby people do not exist except for that one character from Endwalkers, which I will leave it at that because I guess in my point I would say more than that, but yeah. But yeah, props to her, I guess. I think they're Highlanders, but I don't remember the name exactly. Yeah, agreed. Though they are all very human-like, it's just really pointless how they're all humans. It's just the laziest races ever. I hate. That was one of the biggest turn-offs of why I didn't want to play the game, because it was like, I don't want to play as humans, or you know, human plus, or human asterisk, or human dash. It was just very stupid. BA as a white mage, using limit breaks free, you see Aerith's staff. I've used limit breaks free as white mage a few times, but I don't understand references enough to really recognize that. I was a cat boy until I paid farm account, so I became Hrothgar because, you know. Yeah, your OC. Luther Labana. But yeah, with that said, Hrothgars, they're even rarer than like Rogans in a sense. I've seen like all Rogan parties very occasionally, but I've never seen an all Hrothgar party. Part of that is probably just because, you know, they're a paid race, but also because it's just they're not bunny girls. They're the other one that no one cares about except for Phrase. Gay Phrase especially. But yeah, their fashion sense is generally trash as a result, unfortunately. Because they would rather be naked or dressed in outrageous colors. I don't know. Not that I should be caring about. Not that I have any place to stand on when it comes to glamour, since I don't give a shit about mine, since I'm still trying just to catch up. But for even the ones that do, just like, you know, they reach the end game and then they just dress horny or some shit like that. Aerith is a character from. I recognize Aerith. She's the meme character that dies. But I don't recognize the scene. I feel like, oh yeah, that is Aerith's stuff. Yep. Was smile. She was lovely. Ouch. Yeah. Look at you taking up the dark humor. That's just like Volus would. It's not spoilers, it's just universal culture. Everyone knows that she dies. Jeez. It's like, you know, knowing that Darth Vader is Luke's father. It's just as ubiquitous as that. Now everyone knows. Yep, pretty much. I mean, from what I understand in the stream, we could all join together and make a Horty party. You mean a Hrothgar party? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Unless you mean like just a general Final Fantasy party. We might be able to, but I don't know. Maybe. I'm not gonna disclude the possibility. With that said, I'd rather just have some use streaming the game first. And you already heard my opinions about streaming the game anyways. I mean, it's old as spoilers, but just like people don't know Greek history for playing Hades. It's not like that. It's really just like it's popular culture knowledge at that point. I've always had Dark Human. What you mean? I don't know about that, but you do play along fairly well. What's funny is I actually didn't make it based off my OC. Instead, he's entirely different OC, but still cute cat boy. Yeah, I think you mentioned that. It was your OC had some sort of character thing, but then you had like, I don't think you ever mentioned in reference to that original set of stories with. It's been too long. Do not quote me on this. Do not test. I feel like I'm gonna get something wrong if I say anymore. Oh, it would be fun. Yeah, I mean, Hrothgar, I just hate writing the name. I'm terrible at spelling. You said Horty and Horty Party. Okay. I mean, it would be that too. Also, don't worry, it's mostly a joke. Just talking about how we seem to be. There seems to be a lot of Hroths here. I'm not a Hroth! I'm a rogue. But yeah. Don't worry about it. I'd like to take, you know, joking things and speculative things, just, you know, consider them seriously as a joke as well. So, I'm not fully serious about it either. You're fine, it's been a while anyway, lol. I ain't gonna quiz you. But maybe you are. Maybe that's part of the quiz. No. When you're in Discord VC and watching a live stream, hearing someone's voice in Discord, and in YouTube live stream, it will be confusing hearing a lot of voices when you're in a VC. I mean, you don't have to watch the live stream if you're part of the VC at that point, right? With Irby and Zalgus and Milk, they just obviously they don't generally have the stream up, just the stream chat. They can do that, and yeah, there's a link just for the link chat. And if they want to check the sound quality, they just turn it up just to see the sound downs and all that. And of course, it'll be echo then, but they generally don't have the audio up for it. There's that signature paranoia. I mean, maybe. Okay, you're pinning a bit too accurately. Yeah, but damn, he's good. That's points added on your final score. Wow. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to discount possibly outright, but it's also just speculation in the wind right now. You can be the honorary Hrothgar in the party. What does that even mean? What is this winky face? We're gonna put a leash on you and treat you as if you were a pet cat. Says you, I always have the stream video open. Yeah, I mean you do, but I'm presuming it's muted, right? Because you're not gonna hear me double you. You have the stream video open because I usually reference it looking at skills. Yeah, that's very fair. The stream is muted. But we're talking about specifically about where it causes confusion about, you know, double voice. And that's not an issue for you either. I think Irby just looks at the chat. You look at the stream usually because you like to see the visual cues. Because I guess you like looking at the cues there. I'm not sure about Monk though. But honorary pet cat. I don't want to be a cat. If anything, I'd be a dog. I'm a dog person. But if anything, dogs are a bit too basic, so I'd be a bear. I'd be a bear dog, if that's even a thing. Bear dog, tanuki, red panda thing. That's what I would be. No one draw that. Hi. Don't know if it is just me, but I have detached myself from this game as of February the 1st. I know some people have felt the burnout with the Valentine events, and also because Valentine's can be an annoying time for some people, myself included. Naruhodo. And I know some people definitely are probably going to be dropping this game for a while as long as this campaign is up. You know, everyone plays this game differently. With that said, if you're on my friend list and you decide to play like that, there's a good chance I might be removing you. You know, no offense, but I do not play, keep people who do not play the game. But it's fine if you don't play the game for a long period on it and come back. A lot of people do that. It's like a game that, of course, it rewards you for playing consecutively, but it's also a game that you can come back to whenever you want, whenever you feel like it, because there's always gonna be new stuff. I look at my phone because I do dungeons during the stream. Oh my gosh, okay. Must you do that during stream? I mean, I guess it's a good way to be, like, getting in the mood of host mode while also killing time. I think about it. It would be cool if Aura were more dragon lizard-like, but I suppose it would make some things awkward in Heaven's Ward. You know what? Those dragon human things were really hot. There's this one dungeon in Heaven's Ward where it's like you're passing by this green lizard thing, and also during there's like a restoration effort happening in the residential area for Heaven's Ward in Ishgard, and there's also like some dragon quest line there too, and it was just like that dragon human thing where the heretic. That's odd. We gotta find part of that. And there's like one piece of form of that, but I will leave it at that because I need to read the next comment. I usually look at my written notes and chat though. Yeah, I mean, no, I think that's what I do. I switch between the screen and my notes. Bye, Ara. Unsure if I rejoin the stream. You're heading out? Alright. Well, I hope you enjoy the emojis, even though I haven't used them yet. But thank you again for your support, Prisma. Prisma being my first community member joiner. By the way, I did, for anyone else who doesn't know yet, there is a join button now for the very exorbitant price of $1 CAD. You can join the community and use 4 emojis. One of them is kind of broken right now, so I'll probably be switching that out. I would set them for free, but right now I can't because you can only set emojis for community members, channel members, and you can only be a channel member if you spend a minimum amount, and the minimum amount is $1. So sorry about that, but it's there for anyone who wants to use emojis. And for the people who just want to support me in that way, I do appreciate that. Hey, there it is, Prisma! Tomoyo! 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 Thank you for joining, Prisma. It's been a pleasure. Alright, let me read out the other comments that I just skipped. See, it's because he has the green name that I skipped to his name directly. I mean, it's just more visually direct, but Ira removed me already, WTF. 30 minutes ago, it'll be 14/15 by the time you get to your next quest, Cuckoo Hands. What? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, you mean... No, I usually just wait for, like, maybe... If they've been at 28 days for a while of not playing. They were hot, yes. Also part of the restoration rule, the woman something in envy. Right? That's what I'm saying. The woman was just like, how could you do this? But I'm just like, damn girl, you got lucky as fuck. The fuck is this? Which I was you. Oh my gosh. And I was like, no, it's tragedy, it's a shame. But I'm like, me boner, big sexy dragon man, give me unga bunga. Now that's a race I wish we could play as. But instead we got fucking fake Auric Rogadins and Hrothgors if you pay, I guess. But tough luck if you're not a cat person. Make sure to share it. Share what? The join link? It should be just in any of my videos. You can see the join somewhere. But yeah, and then you can use the emojis for the low or rather high price of 99 cents. Then again, you know, Discord emojis, to use them crossover, you also need to pay. So in the end, I guess it's not the worst thing. But for those that want to support me, thank you very much. I would be at a lack of words. Big Dragon Husband is a good... Yes, for sure. We need more of them, honestly. Yeah, right? Like, not only was he Big Dragon Husband, but also he looks cute and is a crap... Yeah, I know, right? The fuck? And I didn't know what they were called, so I just, like, you know, looked at E621 for his name, and there he was. But, you know, the heretics were definitely hot. I think her problem was that she didn't want to get a child and execute for having a dragon spouse. Yeah, I mean, Ishgard is kind of full of religious crazies, but I don't mean to say that disparagingly about all religions. It's just them in specific that is like that. Like, if you've seen the fucking... There's this quest line, I believe. I forget for which job, where it's like this... I think it was the Dark Knight one, where she like her mother wants to murder her kid or something because of some heretical like background she had that she was forced into. It was so like everyone's so fucked up there in the kind of religious order. But you know, on the plus side, if you do go against them, then you get to be a hot dragon, which is like, hey, that's win-win. And if you lose your mind, hey, then you can go feral, right? In more ways than one. Yeah, also he did abandon them for it, so it's not completely her fault. Yeah. But I think it was worth it. It don't matter if the threat of execution hangs on over your head if you can turn into a sexy dragon. So like, it's a complicated situation, but also dragon has been hot, so like, who cares about the mortality? Exactly, Jesus Christ. It's like a minimum problem compared to realizing that dream of, you know, making furries a reality. Well, or I guess scalies in this case. And embodying it yourself. But yeah, I wish that was a race we could play as. God damn it. There are a few other species, but I don't want to get into spoiler territory, so after Stormblood, I'd say other species I'd be interested in. The Vanu are pretty cute, I guess. I know some people don't like bird people, but hey, they big. I like them. They chubby.
I have a control.
So let's see. To be fair, the Ishgards who are at fault anyways. Yeah, I think that's how the backstory went. Well, it wasn't really the Ishgards' faults as a whole. It was a specific part of the, you know, the elite within the Ishgardians. It's Dark Knight, yes. The lady in question was trying to kill the child because her dad was a dragged blood drinking heretic, and then the child was just like having to deal with her murderous shit, including the very last quest. The very last quest in that line was just like, no regret. Like, they killed her in the end, and she was like, it was almost happy as if she was killed. It was weird. Very senseless violence kind of ending. Kind of sad. I'm drawing Bruno from Pokemon in Kanto while listening to the Kondo. Sorry, I do not know Bruno from Pokemon. All I know is Bruno, no. You love Dark Knight so much? Is that one of your main classes right now? I've pretty much just stuck with the classes that I picked first. For each category, that would be Monk is my main one. And for those that don't know, the canonical one. There's also, what's called? For healers, I picked White Mage because, of course, that's one of the few ones you can pick in the free trial, the other one's being Scholar or some shit. But I wanted to do the dedicated one rather than the shared one. And for tanks, I did Warrior. Yes, I'm a pretty okay tank, honestly. Hey, nice. I know some people are stressed out with doing tanks, like my IRL friend was, who made me switch servers only for him to stop playing, which was annoying, but I will stop harping on that again. But yeah, it does require a lot of knowledge of the actual mechanics of the dungeon. But that's it. I'm sure people in the endgame would disagree and would say that everyone requires knowledge of it. But, you know, for people that are just playing the streamlined main content without the... and don't try the savages and all that, yeah, tank is one of the, you know, more committed roles to do. My main DPS is Red Mage. I see. Wow, look at you, fancy, doing all the ones that aren't starting at level 1. Dark Knight class is a reference to Final Fantasy IV. Dark Knight seems to be, at least according to Zalgus, he told me, kind of only existing because the Paladin archetype exists, and then they wanted to do, like, the opposite of it, I guess. So, when I started doing it, I was so confused on what to do. But at some point, it felt like the stars aligned, and now I play it really well. I kind of just do Warrior because... what's it called? I don't know. It's fine. I like the dangerous feeling of going in and using your, like, invuln at 1 HP. And, you know, the combos are simple enough, I guess. And supposedly, they're quite busted in, like, for personal damage, or personal defense mitigation, damage mitigation, in the later level ranges. But, you know, that's not really the reason why I played it up to that point. I've been playing it for a while since then. Before then, that is. My main problem right now with Paladin as well as Dark Knight is, like, there's some extra buttons that I just keep on forgetting to press sometimes. Like the Salted Earth or the... what's it called? The damage over time for the Paladin. It's like, they're there, but they're, like, out of the combo, so I just forget they exist sometimes. Yeah, it's pretty bonkers, it's high level. For me, I started with Arcanist, so I would get a DPS to... yeah, I heard that was a popular recommendation. The Arcanist, so you can get 2 levels up. We'll do a DPS class to MSQ and a healer for quick dungeons. But yeah, I would say I was kind of a tryhard, so I was like, no, I have to level each one individually. So I did. So I picked White Mage instead, and I picked Monk instead. But my highest level class is... I'm pretty sure they're all at the level, but they're all tied between Monk and White Mage and Warrior right now, which is the max level at level 90. But I want Red Mage to be the DPS class, apart from Summoner. And for tank, I really like Gunbreaker, although that's because it starts at level 60, which means I didn't have to grind for it too much. Maybe it's because I got too used to grinding all these lower level ones that start level 1, that it's like, I don't really know how to pick up these near ones so far. And also because I'm trying to keep them all generally an equal level, it's like I end up spending much less time proportionally for the ones that start at higher levels when I get to them. Yeah, I started playing Final Fantasy maybe like... when did I start? I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or some shit like that. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I started a while back from before then, but then I kind of just dropped it, and then I went back in eventually again. I prefer the stress of playing healer than tank stress, but it wasn't too bad, to be honest. I don't really feel the stress in like the main content stuff. I just have fun either way. The only stress I feel is as DPS and trying to actually queue in after like waiting for 30 minutes or some shit like that. With that said, I don't really play Savage content because I'm too busy just leveling up every other class. Like, I'm more focused on completion than on maximization in that game right now. Like, the only thing I want to maximize is just catching up at that point in my progress to everyone else is level 90 and all that. I think I just got too lazy. I think I just got too lazy a bit for dailies in favor of doing the actual story. Or dailies? Oh, you mean like Beast Tribes and all that? I mean, the Beast Tribes don't even reward that much in the very beginning ones. And then, what are the other dailies? I don't even remember the other dailies besides Beast Tribes. But yeah, I definitely do Beast Tribes. That's one of the main reasons why I'm waiting before I resub. Because, in the next expansion, I mean... is it spoiler if I'm talking about the most current patch that's being released? Well, let's just say there's gonna be another Beast Tribe, but it's not out yet. And I feel like if I keep on playing, it'll be a waste to not just wait for that and, you know, get the XP from that instead. Oh, the daily dungeon roulette. Right, I forgot the roulette. Yeah, I do the roulettes too, but it's just, I don't know. They're okay. But yeah, like I said, I just played for so long, like 8 hours when I was out on my worst day, that I definitely had time after my dungeon roulette dailies to do all that extra stuff as well, including the main story. But I feel, I mean, in terms of finding, when I was doing the story, it was like I had to commit a day to do it instead of the dailies, because if I did the dailies, then I would just not feel like sitting around and watching the story. So it took me a while to get into it, but the story eventually carries itself that you'd want to see it. And plus it's good EXP, which is like, that's the reason why you're doing dungeon roulettes anyways. So if you're doing it for EXP for dungeon roulette, might as well get the XP from the story as well. And plus, you know, the sooner you do the story, the sooner you unlock things that will help you level in future. I've completely ignored the tribes because I'm terrible at doing daily stuff, which makes me sad because I do quite like them. Oh no, I get you. I ignored them for the longest time, but I'll tell you what, I did start actually caring about them when I started working on my crafters, because there's a set of them that actually give you a decent EXP boost. And, you know, they're kind of limited in their own way, so it's like, you might as well do them to get the XP. Otherwise, you're gonna be doing fucking love quests, which are boring as fucking don't get you anything, except for the XP itself. Whereas if you do Beast Tribes, you can get all that extra fancy stuff, and you get to see their story and all that. And yeah, I'd say that's why I like doing Beast Tribe quests, because it's not just flat out grinding like love quests are. The Amalja are... Yeah, the Amalja, that's it. That was another species. And oh my god, this team is so good. Like, you haven't heard all their variations on the team yet, but even if you enter their, like, Zonrock area, yeah, they have my favorite team among all the Beast Tribe areas. This might be a bit of a spoiler, but only in terms of what's not there. But in later Beast Tribes, in the story, they don't actually have their own theme. They just reuse the map theme that they're in. So it's really, really depressing in that way, in terms of the only original song you'll really hear is from, like, A Realm Reborn. And, from, I guess, Heaven's Word too. Maybe Stormblood? I haven't really done Stormblood quests yet. Have I? Well, maybe I have for the crafting ones. But yeah, the Amalja are certainly hot. Unfortunately, the porn of them isn't always drawn to best, but whatever. Alright. 10 minutes left, and then I will be finishing the grinding and reviewing my coin collection and doing all the other fishing stuff and ending the stream then. But yeah, we are approaching 3 hours. Hopefully we made quite the coin. I am kind of surprised of how many people actually played Final Fantasy XIV. Like, I know I shouldn't be surprised, but the fact that it was the topic of Final Fantasy 14 was able to carry us for like an hour and a half. That was like, yeah. Not maybe if that's a bit much. Especially as someone who isn't even currently subbed. Don't tempt me! But yeah, for those who haven't really gotten to the crafters yet, you want to sub so bad. I mean, sometimes, yeah. But I don't know, I got 1,000 people subbing for me, so it's fine. Anyways, yeah, for the crafters, I'd start recommending you do them because it becomes at level 55 for the crafting ones for some reason, I believe. They're kind of miserable before then, though, to level up your crafters. You just have to... What I did from level 1 to 55 for crafters really is just doing the exchange every day. And I didn't actually make the items, I just bought them from the market. So do that if you want a quick way, well, you know, quick per se. It'll take like several days, but it's, you know, a massive amount of EXP out of the way, and you're gonna be playing doing other things anyways. Might as well, like, you know, do that instead of just buy it quickly rather than wasting your time doing that, and so you can focus on other things like doing the roulettes. You're reminding me, I need to do some purging of my friend list, because I do think I got some peeps that haven't logged in for 30 days or more. Yeah, same. I mean, I removed a couple lately, that's why you see my friend list thing actually clogging up now. Pretty much I've added most of everyone, if not everyone at all, like, from the Discord server that I wanted to. You see I have like 4 people there? Those are like randoms trying to add me. But yeah, I already added pretty much everyone, so now I'm just trying to find people that, who else I want to add that have good support lists. Or in the very least, we'll use my units. Honestly, I don't really, like, I would say I prioritize people using my units more than I prioritize them having like a good support list, because my units are quite good themselves, and I already have a lot of good, strong units in my friend list. Anyway, once you have one Christmas tree out on your support list, you don't need another. Yeah, I'm completely just getting my main combat jobs to 90, so my crafter classes get the EXP boosts from the difference between levels. From the difference between levels? You mean like the... I think it was like some sort of a armory chest bonus in terms of if you have some class higher, then your crafters will also be boosted. So yeah. You should add me? I should add you then. I might. If you use my sports. Actually, probably the main reason. The main thing I'm looking for, or would desire, is someone in the Discord server. Because if they're in the Discord server, then they can be accountable. I can ping them, I can message them if, you know, if I want them to switch to sports. And, you know, I can hold more conversations with them than just see if they're actually using my sports or not. But more than that, it also builds a personal rapport with them. And it works both ways. You could then ask me if you want me to change units too. So that's probably the first thing I'd be looking for if you want to just, you know, make your way into the Discord server, and maybe I'll consider adding you. Yeah, if you have a class that's higher level than the others by quite a bit, you get some extra EXP. Yeah, you do. I'm just not entirely sure if you, what's it called, get it between classes versus crafters versus the battle jobs. I usually use your supports. Tomayo! Hey, thanks. I work hard to make sure my supports are relevant for usage. I've got like the most essential supports, I think, for the most. I've got the coin booster support right now. Yeah, Max 17 cat. I've got Kotaro because he's busted and destroys everything. I've got Ryota since he just has a shitload of CPU. What are my other slots? I'm already forgetting. I have Tanjiro over there in case you want to do like Tanjiro eats on the strat, fully seated. Well, yeah, fully still seated anyways. And I have a Kengo, which is popular for obvious reasons. Hey, we got another. Make sure you do read the server rules before you do anything there. We had particulars every now and then. It would have helped if people read the server rules. Probably going to use your cat when I finally do start growing coins. Thank you for the sentiment, but it'll probably just be incidental based on whoever's first on your list, which it's kind of like random, honestly. You could sort it by rank, but then like you'll find mine much lower. If you're sorted by reverse level, then you'll probably find someone else had a much lower rank than me. So just do whatever works for you. I won't hold it against you. Another one has been dragged into the cult. Indeed. Yeah, no problem. I'll be on my best behavior. You don't have to be like stick up your ass best behavior, but just like, be cool. I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's a very relaxed setting there, in terms of people making tasteful horny jokes every now and then, and climbing over their husbands and all that. But some people, I don't know, sometimes don't read social cues, and then there's others that just post things that don't belong and it's not related to Housamo. That's probably the biggest problem with new people, in terms of if they don't read the conversation and they kind of just say whatever they want without trying to contribute to the current one, and if they start posting things that are just like not related to Housamo outright without any kind of context. But yeah, other than that, just it's not some kind of cult. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not gonna be like a problem for you to join for sure. It's not going to be stressful. It's going to be an asset of everything. I love the server there. It's fun talking with everyone there, and it's also the main mixing pool of where all these Housamo tubers come from. This is where I talk to Milk and Irby and like Harvey, if you know his content, and many other people actually. So it is the beginning of a new world for you if you do join. OMG, I just saw the image you said about no rerun. Yeah, hey, there it is, right? We have an artist there. He also makes Housamo content, has videos, but he actually has like art skills to back it up as well. So my profile pic there is actually based from that artist as well too. So he's great too. What isn't a cult when you think about it? That is a good point. Probably religion, just because legally speaking it's considered, it is acknowledged by the government, so it's no longer a cult. Alright, even though this will not use the rest of my stamina, this game here, if not this one, then the next one, will probably be my last game battle, just because we are reaching 6 p.m. EST, that is to say the 3-hour mark. But before we close the stream, I will be looking over my points, so let's just get a good look at that. Christianity is a super cult that no one can deny. No, I don't think it's a cult. But that's just biased because I'm also Catholic, so I don't know. The difference between cult and religion, I really do think is just a legal one. But in terms of like there's similarities otherwise, yeah. Oh, game, calm down. What happens when I'm covering the Wi-Fi sensor for 3 seconds? Let's go, Kurugane. Last turn. Yotaita! I have control. Yotaita! And we are done the grinding. It is now 6 p.m. EST. Let us go see our rewards. Okay. Items. So when we began, I completely forgot how many drinks we began with, but let us review our coins. I believe we started with slightly under 5 million coins. So now we have, you know, slightly under 30 million. So I think we made slightly, that's a lot of slightly unders. We made just under 25 million, which is, you know, it's a good margin better than before. I think the difference in units, I think, really did make a difference somehow, even though it was just, you know, switching from magic range to light range. So pretty good for 3 hours. That's pretty good. 25 mil, almost 25 mil. Nice. Wait, at least for my own purposes, I shouldn't look at how many drinks I have left. Come on. Okay, I have 87 drinks and 131 majors. All right. That is it then. Well, let me just read out the comments and then I will close the stream. I like how this game gets into a bit of religion with Missionary Units on Chapter 10. I mean, in a sense, a religion is also a mythology. It's just people don't call it that because it's actually supported in modern day. Mythology is more of a thing that is no longer supported, but they are in the same kind of vein of a belief system. Hence why they capitalize the term system all the time. I might be saying that because Jacob is very thick, but, you know, maybe not biased. I'm back. Maybe I should not show the screen for too long, otherwise for copyright concerns. Anyways, let me just pull out the intro card right here. There you go. I'm back. Ooh, 29 million. Yeah, for sure. I was quite productive. That was in total around 25 million. So yeah, that was good. Oh wow, I wasn't expecting to have so many more coins than you. I think I have 100 mil from being lazy and not using that much, but still, that was great progress today. Thank you. I think it was good too. The progress actually makes me want to do more next time because that was like almost 5 million more than last time I did. So tomorrow, 3 p.m. EST, same time as today, as usual, but you know, tomorrow instead, I'll be doing the same thing. So thank you for joining me, everyone. It was a pleasure talking to you all about Final Fantasy and various other topics besides Final Fantasy. Somehow, mostly Final Fantasy. But yeah, I hope anyone who is grinding with me today also made a good coin, and that is it. Thank you for joining, and especially warm welcome to every newcomer today, and I will talk to you guys next time. See you next time, and bye-bye.